afternoon, and welcome to Trojan Stadium in Beloit, Kansas for the 14th annual Kansas 8-man All-Star football game. Well, aside from being a little breezy, it's an absolutely perfect day with clear skies and temperatures at game time in the upper 70s. And down on the field, we've had the coin toss, and the East All-Stars will be kicking off to the West squad. We're just a few moments away now from the kickoff, so let's meet the players from both squads. First, the East All-Stars. Wearing number 32, Jared Furman from Midway Denton High School, a 6'3", 200-pound fullback and linebacker. Also from Midway Denton, wearing number 71, Curtis Albers, a 6'2", 185-pound offensive guard and defensive end. From Chetopa High School, wearing number 99, Tyrone Armstrong, a 6'3", 290-pound offensive guard and defensive tackle. Wearing number 25, Joey Midget, a 5'11", 190-pound tailback and linebacker. From St. Paul High School, wearing number 2, Zach Westhoff, a 6'3", 200-pound tight end and linebacker. Also from St. Paul High School, wearing number 9, Seth Bourne, a 6', 185-pound quarterback. Wearing number 20, Lee Driver from Williamsburg High School, a 6'2", 180-pound tailback and wide receiver. Also from Williamsburg High School, wearing number 34, Brandon S. Ferguson, a 6'1", 223-pound linebacker. Wearing number 23, Mark Harder from Byrne High School, a 5', 10-inch, 160-pound linebacker and running back. Also hailing from Byrne High School, wearing number 52, Trevor Eisenbarth, the 5', 10-inch, 180-pound offensive guard and defensive end. From Center High School, wearing number 11, Brandon Henshaw, a 6', 185-pound defensive back and quarterback. Wearing number 44, Justin D. Matlack from Burton High School, 5', 11-inch, 211-pound defensive end. From Wakanda East High School, wearing number 22, Trevor Stuma, a 5', 10-inch, 172-pound offensive end and linebacker. Also from Wakanda East High School, wearing number 55, Jeff McPeak, a 5', 10-inch, 180-pound linebacker and running back. Also the head coach for the East squad from Wakanda East High School, Keith Cresson. From Norwich High School, wearing number 28, Cole Smith, a 5', 11-inch, 175-pound running back. Also from Norwich High School, wearing number 68, Ryan Poe, a 6'2", 170-pound linebacker. And along with them from Norwich High School, the assistant coach, Craig Rust. Wearing number 8, Philip Rock from Hope High School, 6', 175-pound defensive back. And wearing number 10, Brent Reedy from Hope High School, a 6'2", 185-pound quarterback. From Baileyville High School, wearing number 15, Justin Schmitz, a 5', 10-inch, 155-pound defensive back and tight end. From Axtell High School, wearing number 21, Kevin B. Cook, a 6'1", 175-pound quarterback and linebacker. Also from Axtell High School, wearing number 65, Philip Bussing, a 5'11", 185-pound center and defensive end. Hailing from Sylvan Unified High School, wearing number 40, Evan Frederking, a 6', 3-inch, 200-pound defensive end and offensive end. Also from Sylvan Unified High School, wearing number 50, John Sorensen, a 6'2", 200-pound defensive end and center. From Jessel High School, wearing number 66, Alan Stuckey, a 6', 3-inch, 275-pound offensive and defensive lineman. From South Haven High School, wearing number 62, Greg A. Turek, a 5', 11-inch, 160-pound linebacker and guard. Wearing number 77, Mitch Webster from Blue Valley Randolph High School at 6', 265-pound, an offensive and defensive lineman. Wearing number 12, from Lynn High School, Chad E. Hilton, a 6', 5-inch, 195-pound quarterback and defensive back. Also from Lynn High School, number 43, Corey Wirtz at 5'10", 215-pound fullback and linebacker. And one of the assistant coaches for the East squad from Lynn High School, Steve Snyder. And the other assistant coach for the East squad from Thayer High School, Vern Miner. And now, the West All-Stars. From Lewis High School, wearing number 6, Joe Butler, a 5', 8-inch, 185-pound fullback and linebacker. Wearing number 15, Jason Wolitz from Little River High School, a 5', 11-inch, 175-pound quarterback and defensive back. Also from Little River High School, wearing number 75, Seth Cordell, 6', 245-pound offensive and defensive lineman. Wearing number 25, from Quivira Heights High School, Justin Ringwald, a 5', 8-inch, 215-pound running back and defensive end. From Jetmore High School, wearing number 44, Jonathan Danzel, a 6'1", 215-pound defensive end. From Logan High School, wearing number 70, Brandon Elliott, 6'1", 235-pound offensive and defensive lineman. Also from Logan High School, Ben Forrest at 6'3", 220-pound tight end and defensive end. From Greeley County High School, wearing number 24, Seth A. Stewart, a 5'11", 160-pound quarterback. Also from Greeley County High School, wearing number 62, Clint Harris, at 6 foot, 200-pound offensive lineman. Wearing number 2, from Northern Valley High School, Clint Cox, at 6'1", 165-pound defensive back and quarterback. Also from Northern Valley High School, wearing number 79, Travis Hogan, at 6'2", 245-pound guard. And one of the assistant coaches for the West Squad from Northern Valley High School, Chuck Fessenden. From Haviland High School, wearing number 16, Cole Ballard, a 6 foot, 175-pound quarterback and defensive back. Also from Haviland High School, wearing number 35, Justin Kendall, a 5 foot, 9 inch, 180-pound running back. And the head coach for the West Squad from Haviland High School, Jeff Blattner. From Skyline High School, wearing number 30, Scott Hogan, a 5 foot, 11 inch, 165-pound running back. Wearing number 48, Michael Kendall from Skyline High School, a 5 foot, 11 inch, 195-pound linebacker. And one of the assistant coaches for the West Squad, Rick Lee from Skyline High School. From Mankato High School, wearing number 54, Jacob Latta, a 6 foot, 195-pound linebacker and tackle. From Jewell High School, wearing number 40, Chris Ramsey, at 6'3", 250-pound fullback, defensive lineman and linebacker. Wearing number 22, Andrew Leeper from Protection High School, at 6'4", 185-pound end. And also from Protection High School, wearing number 42, Tyler Woolfolk, a 5 foot, 10 inch, 185-pound running back and linebacker. Wearing number 53, Brent R. Licks from Spearville High School, at 6 foot, 180-pound nose guard. From Pawnee Heights High School, wearing number 1, Trent Knuckles, a 5 foot, 10 inch, 175-pound safety. Hailing from Tescott High School, wearing number 11, Brent Oding, a 6 foot, 3 inch, 190-pound quarterback and defensive back. Wearing number 34, from Wilson High School, Chad A. Peets, a 6 foot, 1 inch, 200-pound fullback and linebacker. And one of the assistant coaches for the West Squad from Wilson High School, Tony Brooks. From Cheline High School, wearing number 56, Levi Pochop, a 6 foot, 1 inch, 235-pound offensive and defensive lineman. Wearing number 43, from Coldwater High School, Jamie Ritzke, a 5 foot, 11 inch, 185-pound running back and linebacker. From Hanston High School, wearing number 20, Corey Reese, a 5 foot, 11 inch, 175-pound offensive end and defensive back. Also from Hanston High School, wearing number 69, Todd Rupp, a 6 foot, 200-pound offensive and defensive lineman. Well, we take you down on the field now and see that the coin toss has completed, and the co-captains for both the East and the West shaking hands there. And the West has won the coin toss. They will elect to receive, and the East will be kicking off on this beautiful afternoon here at Trojan Field, here at Beloit, Kansas, the 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. And we take a look at the field. Beautiful conditions here. The field is in right now, and just kind of a windy afternoon for this 8-man All-Star football game, but still great conditions with all the rain that we had in May. It really put the field in great conditions for this game. All right, we watch teeing it up right now is Mitch Webster for the East All-Stars. Mitch Webster from Blue Valley Randolph High School, and back deep to receive for the West will be number 11. That's Brett Oding. He's from Tescott High School, along with number 25, Justin Ringwald from Covera Heights. Mitch Webster, number 77, he's 265-pound offensive and defensive lineman, but he's going to stick a toe in it here this afternoon to get our 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game off to the start. As we get set for the kickoff, and again back deep is Oding and Ringwald. As Webster approaches, puts a toe in it, kind of a line drive kind of kick down there. Oetting will take it about the 7-yard line. He's coming here to the near sideline at the 20, up, ended right there at about the 25. It dives across the 25 to the 26. And the tackle was made by number 11, Brandon Henshaw. Henshaw from Center High School, standing at 6 foot, 185 pounds. It will give the West All-Stars a 1st and 10 on their own 26-yard line. Take a look at the offensive lineup for the Westcott. At quarterback is Cole Ballard. He's number 16. Your running backs are Chad Peets, number 34, and Justin Kendall, number 35. We'll set the rest of the offensive line in just a moment. Here's Ballard up in her center, calling the cadence, and now the pitch out back here goes to Kendall. Kendall around this near side will pick up about 4 yards. The tackle that time made by number 12, Chad Hilchin, for the East All-Stars. He's from Lynn High School at 6'5", 195-pound defensive back. That will bring up a second down and 6 from the West 30-yard line.
From the 30.
And we'll set the defense for you here in just a moment as well, but here comes the West now with a 2nd down and 6 on their own 30. Ballard looks it over. I formation again. And now handoff for the first man through, getting the ball to Chad Peets, and Peets will get just maybe a yard or 2 out of it. Gain of 2 on the play. Tackle made by Alan Stuckey, number 66 there for the East All-Stars. He's from Jessel High School. Brings up a 3rd down for the West on their own 32-yard line. 3rd down and 4. As we mentioned again about the West All-Stars here, the defensive ends, Andrew Leeper, number 22, Ben Forrest, number 51. Clint Harris is your center. And now here is Ballard on the quarterback keeper. Ballard trying to get to the outside, getting near the 35-yard line, but he'll come up short of the 1st down. As that time on the quarterback keeper, he only gained a couple. Henshaw and Stuckey on the tackle will bring up a 4th down for the West. 4th down and 1. And it will be out there on their own 34-yard line is where it will be placed. And the West is going to be kicking here, punting it away. Your kicker for the West is Andrew Leeper, number 22. Back deep is Henshaw for the East. There's the high end over in boot going down here, and it'll be out of bounds on the East 21-yard line. And that's where the East will set up shop for their first offensive series here on the afternoon. Just a little bit breezy here in Trojan Stadium today, but still temperatures much better than they have been in previous years during these All-Star games. All right, here's the East on offense. 1st and 10. Your quarterback is Brent Reedy. Your backs are Furman and Driver. And here is a handoff right up the middle and goes to Furman. Furman will pick up about 4 yards on the play. There to make the stop was Tyler Woolfolk, number 42 for the West. Woolfolk from Protection High School. And protected from Furman getting away that time on a handoff right up the gut. Brings up a 2nd down and 6 for the East. Ball on the 25-yard line for the East on their first offensive series. Again, Reedy is your quarterback. Bringing the play in from the sideline that time for the East. At number 21, Kevin Cook from Axtell. As we take a look at wide receivers out to the short side of the field. The one lone back, Reedy up under center. Now Reedy looks out there and makes Lawson downfield. He's got a man wide open down there. Lead Driver, but incomplete. Just out beyond his outstretched arms. Incomplete pass. And back there in defense for the West was number 2. That was Clint Cox from Northern Valley High School. A 6'1", 165-pound defensive back. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the East on their 25-yard line. As the play now coming in for the East being brought in by Philip Rock. He's out of Hope High School. 6', 170-pound defensive back and wide receiver. As we take a look now at Brent Reedy bringing the East All-Stars up here to the line of scrimmage. And setting him down, one lone back, wide out. There's a handoff right up the middle to Furman, and Furman is stuffed right there at the line of scrimmage. In to make the tackle is Tyler Woolfolk along with Mike Kendall. Number 42, Tyler Woolfolk, and number 48, that's Mike Kendall. And the stop there brings up a 4th down for the East. 4th down and 5 on their own 26. So just a yard pickup that time, as the West was able to stop that right up the gut. Back to punt it away is Brent Reedy. And back deep for the West is Brett Oding. And here is the punt. It's a high end-over-end boot going downfield. And it will be out of bounds as well, as we watch the referee walk upfield and mark out just exactly where they're going to place it down. And it looks like that it will be close to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 from the West 28-yard line.
28-yard line, where it'll be
well, their second offensive series here this afternoon in this 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. Been a couple of years since the West has won here in this 8-man All-Star game. They really believe they have the men up front in the trenches to control the line of scrimmage. We'll find out on the afternoon. One lone back there. Now here's the pitch out, getting out to the outside. Pitch out to Peach, and he'll be around here to the near side, picking up 6 yards on the carry, but there to make the stop was Justin Schmitz. Ball placed down at the 34-yard line, so it brings up a 2nd down and 4 for the West. And again, Ballard, your quarterback, is bringing the play in this time for the West, is number 20. That's Corey Reese. And he brings it in. Again, Petz and Kendall is in the backfield.
34-yard line.
As we see this time, the I formation by that big offensive line. And here's the pitch out going back there to Kendall. Kendall getting around that left side. He'll be up close to the 1st down marker. As we take a look where they will place it down, it will be probably about a couple of yards short. A gain of 3 on the play. And the tackle there made by Greg Turek. Greg Turek out of South Haven High School. There was a pickup of 3 yards on the carry, and it will bring up just a 3rd down and 1 from the 37-yard line of the West. As we take a look at what play that they will call this time. Obviously, probably a running play. They've got that big, powerful line. All right, Ballard up under center, that I formation. This time, I'm going to hand off to the first man through. That's to Chad Petz, and is he going to have enough? Great tackle that time by Greg Turek again, as he really makes a super play to make the stop, but there's a timeout for the measurement. And we'll wait and see as they bring the chains across and see how close it is. He had just a yard to go, but we'll see if he did get enough to get that 1st and 10. As they bring it out and set the chains down and get the measurement. And just by the nose of the football, he did get it. So a 1st and 10 for the West. Ball is placed at the 38-yard line.
Football, we have a 1st down.
1st and 10 for the West. But again, Greg Turek inside there just making a great tackle and almost a great stop, which would have given the West 4th down. But nevertheless, they did get the 1st and 10. And keep this drive alive. Here come the West up to the line of scrimmage. Again, Ballard, your quarterback, and Petz and Kendall in the backfield. This time they split the backfield. All right, here's Ballard and calls the cadence. This time makes a fake. And now they misdirection. And off to Kendall. Kendall is in the loose. He's down to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Touchdown. That time, Kendall getting away from the defenders after a great fake in the backfield by Ballard, and then giving the misdirection handoff right to Kendall, and he broke a couple of tackles to get away, and a 42-yard romp for the opening score of this 1999 8-man All-Star football game. The West on top, 6-0. Now to go for the point after touchdown. The West will elect to go for 2. As Ballard and Petz and Kendall again in the backfield. This time they split them again. And Ballard now setting in motion out there. And this time the pitch out going to Petz. And Petz is going to be stopped short. He did not make it. Did not get around the corner. So the East comes up with a big defensive play there and makes the stop. And 6-0. The West on top as we get set for the kickoff. Brandon Henshaw and Greg Turek were out there to make that stop on Petz, not allowing him to get in to get the extra 2 points. There are 10 minutes left here in the first quarter. As again, the West on top, 6-0. West getting ready to kick off here. And teeing it up for the West will be number 44, John Danzel. And back deep for the East will be number 20, Lee Driver, along with number 28, Cole Smith. Those are your two deep men. Again, John Danzel sitting it up for the West to kick off here after that long touchdown romp by Justin Kendall, a 42-yarder, to put the West up 6-0. And as we've mentioned, it's been a couple of years since the West has won here in this 8-man All-Star football game. The East has dominated each of the last 2 years. But this year, the coaches feel like the West really has the horses up front to be able to run the ball, and obviously they've proven up to this point as they feel like they can really win the trench war. All right, here we are with the kickoff, and it's a low line drive kick. Knocked down here by Cole Smith, fumbled, now hand off to Lee Driver. He's going to go up here to the near side, gets out beyond the 20, out beyond the 25 to the 27-yard line. In there to make the stop that time for the West was number 43, Jamie Ritzke, along with number 51, Ben Forrest. So now the East will have another offensive series here and set up shop on their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10 for the East, as Reedy, your quarterback, along with Furman and Lee Driver in the backfield. Your receiver, Phil Rock, out there to the short side of the field. Here's Reedy. Reedy now staying back and letting it fly downfield. It's caught out there, and the pass was caught by Lee Driver. He'll pick up a little more than 10 yards on the play, but there to make the stop for the West was Jason Willits. But a 1st and 10 for the East. A good-looking pass play from Reedy out there to Lee Driver. Ball placed down on the 37-yard line as the East out there near midfield now on their offensive drive, trying to keep this drive alive and go down and match the score, or even take the lead from the West squad as they have a 6-0 lead. Here is Reedy under center, the one lone back, 2 wideouts there. There's a handoff to the first man through, and that was to Furman, and Furman getting just barely a half yard on the play. There to make the stop was Tyler Woolfolk. Woolfolk from Protection High School, at 5'10", 185-pound linebacker, and really put a stick on Furman to stop him for just a half-yard gain. So the East now with a 2nd down and about 9.5 on the ball is on the 37.5-yard line. All right, Reedy and the East offense up to the line of scrimmage. As Reedy looks it over, he's got 2 wideouts here to the wide side. Stuma is your wideout. Now Reedy's looking downfield. Now drills it down there. Stuma is the intended receiver. Can't hang on to it. Looked like he was trying to make a quick move there before he really watched it all the way into the hands. But incomplete pass will bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the East at the 37.5. 3rd down and a long 9 anyway, as the East trying to keep this drive alive here on their own 37.5-yard line. Reedy, along with Driver and Furman in the backfield. Now they'll split them as both ends in tight. And Reedy this time turning around. He'll roll out, and now is being chased down back there in the backfield. Reedy trying to get away from big pressure. Will tuck it under. He'll be thrown down for a loss. Thrown back at the 30-yard line. There to make the tackle was Mike Kendall, as the big guy from Skyline High School at 5'11", 195 pounds was back there in pursuit along with the rest of the West defensive players, but Mike Kendall got a hold of him, threw him down at the 30-yard line, and it's a loss all the way back there. Brings up 4th down and 17. Reedy is back in punt formation.
Knuckles back to receive.
All right, there's a low snap, but Reedy does get it away. End over end boot down here, and will roll all the way into the end zone. So a touchback, and it will bring it back out to the 15-yard line. That's where the West will set up shop for a 1st and 10. And another offensive series. Again, the West leading here this afternoon, 6-0 here at Trojan Field in this 14th annual 8-man All-Star game. And we've got a new quarterback coming in now for the West. As in now is Seth Stewart. He's from Greeley County High School. Stewart up under center along with Scott Hogan as the running back, and there is a handoff to Butler. Butler also new in there, picks up about 4 yards on the play. In to make the tackle for the East is Phil Bussing. Bussing makes a nice stop on Butler. A pickup of only 4 brings up a 2nd down and 6. The ball is on the 19-yard line of the West. Again, Seth Stewart is your quarterback. He's number 24. Again, from Greeley County High School. And your backs are Joe Butler from Lewis, along with Scott Hogan. Scott Hogan is from Skyline High School, and the backs are split this time. Slot out here to the wide side. Now Stewart with the quarterback keeper, and not going to get much out of it, as he may have picked up just a couple of yards on that play. There to make the stop, Corey Wirtz for the East. And only a 2-yard pickup that time will bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the West. Ball is out on the 21-yard line. Oh, the East being kind of stingy right now with what they're allowing the West to do offensively. 3rd down and 4. We've got 2 wideouts here to the near side. That is Ben Forrest. Now dropping back is Stewart. Stewart's going to be tackled for a loss on the play. Matter of fact, a loss of 6. Back there to make the stop was number 66, Alan Stuckey from Jessel, a 6'3", 270-pound defensive lineman, and puts the ball back at the 15-yard line, and that will bring up a 4th down and 10. So the West will have to punt it away. Back in punt formation for the West is number 22, Andrew Leeper. Back to receive for the East is number 55, Jeff McPeak, on a high end-over-end punt down here. Taken by McPeak, and McPeak right back up the middle, and he's going to get quite a bit on the return. Matter of fact, about 15 yards. It'll be on the West, the 34-yard line. There to make the stop for the West that time was number 20. That is Corey Reese, along with number 79, Travis Hogan. Hogan out of Northern Valley High School. All right, 1st and 10 for the East on the 31-yard line of the West. Here's Brent Reedy and the East offense. Driver and Furman, your running backs. There's a handoff to Driver. Driver hit right there at the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up some extra yardage, but there to make the stop was Levi Pochop, riding him all the way to the ground, but a gain of 3 that time by Lee Driver, and the East All-Stars bringing up a 2nd down and 7. The ball now on the 28-yard line of the West, so the East making their deepest penetration into West territory. Again, 2nd down and 7 as the East arrives at the line of scrimmage. And Reedy now into the back is Joey Midget, along with Furman. Now here again, Reedy handing off this time. He hands off to Furman, and Furman right up the gut there, picking up 8 yards on the carry. There to make the stop was the defensive back, Brett Oding, along with Jamie Ritzke. Had it not been for them two, it could have been 7 that time for Jared Furman. But he picks up enough for the 1st and 10 as it's down at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the East. Trying to tie this ball game up or even take the lead here as the West on top 6-0 here. That was back in the early part of this quarter number 1. 42-yard run for the West, and their touchdown. Here is a handoff now going to Joey Midget. Midget now here to the left side and is knocked out of bounds by Jamie Ritzke, but a pickup of 10 on the play down to the 10-yard line. And just a tad inside, it'll bring up 1st and goal for the East as they'll move the chains. The East smelling pay dirt down here.
For the East squad.
Again, Midget and Furman will be your running backs. Reedy, your quarterback. As it is inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal for the East. Reedy looks him over. Backs are split this time. And in motion is Midget as Reedy, calling the cadence, takes the handoff, hands off to Furman. Furman hit right there at the line of scrimmage, bounces off, and now getting up, looks like he was down about the 7-yard line. We'll see where they place it down. But there to make the stop for the West was just about the entire defensive front for them. But now we take a look where the referees put it down. Now it looks like about a gain of only a half yard. It sure looked like that Jared Furman had picked up a lot more yardage than that. Off of that run, he bounced off of one tackler and then was stopped by the rest of the defensive front. Nevertheless, it sets up a 2nd down and goal for the East on the 9-yard line. Reedy and his offensive unit arrive at the line of scrimmage. The lone back there is Furman. Driver out wide to the right side of the field. As Reedy now making a pumping fake and now going downfield with it. No, he's going to be sacked. Looked like he was going to be able to get that off, but he was sacked back there. Loss of 5 yards on the play. Back there to make the tackle for the West was Tyler Woolfolk. Woolfolk from protection. Boy, he's been in on a lot of tackles this afternoon. A loss clear back at the 15-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down and goal from there. So actually a loss of about 6 yards that time after the tackle by Tyler Woolfolk. Here we go. 3rd down and goal from the 15. Furman and Midget in the backfield. As Reedy in motion this time. Here is Reedy. He looks downfield, goes back across the field, and Lee Driver right there to make the grab at the goal line and step in for the touchdown. Had everybody faked out that time as they were going left and following all the motion that way. Lee Driver went back to the right, and Reedy makes a nice connection there on the pass, and we're all knotted up at 6. Now for the point after touchdown. Reedy and Midget back there in the backfield. The wideouts are Driver. And looks like there is a timeout called on the field. I believe it's just by the referee, so official timeout, but we're right back to action here. Reedy up under center again. Back there is Midget in the backfield. Driver out there to the wide side. Now here's Reedy again. Reedy looks, and now he'll put it down. He'll go to the 5, and Reedy in for the point after touchdown. And the East has taken the lead for the first time here this afternoon. 8-6. That time Reedy was looking for the pass, but found plenty of room over here on the left side of the field, on the short side, and got into the end zone, basically untouched, and gives the East a 2-point lead, 8-6 here in this first quarter. As we get set for the East to kick off, going back deep for the West will be number 25, Justin Ringwald. And to kick it off here for the East, after that touchdown and point after, will be Kevin Cook. He's from Maxdell High School. Kevin Cook stands at 6'1", 170 pounds, quarterback and a linebacker as well. We get set here for the kickoff. And again, we watch Cook tee it up. Justin Ringwald, your lone back there for the West. He is from Quivira Heights High School.
Back for the West, number 25.
As the East spreading out here, the defense on the kickoff. Here's Cook, and he approaches. Here's a line drive, short kick down there. And Ringwald fumbles it, goes back to the 5-yard line, now being swarmed under back there, but is going to make an attempt to get back upfield. He does, and gets back to the 10-yard line. So after fumbling it and back there to 5, is able to get 5 yards back up to the 10-yard line, and there to make the tackle for the East was Brandon Ferguson, along with Evan Fredurking, there to make the stop. So now the West will set up deep in their own territory on their own 10-yard line, 1st and 10. And again, Seth Stewart, along with Butler, will be in the backfield. Your receivers, Hogan, along with Forrest. All right, the one lone back here, the wideouts here to the near side of the field. Again, Stewart handing off to that first back through. That's Butler, and Butler right up the gut and driving the legs and getting some extra yardage. He picks up about 6 out of that. It was Fredurking along with Turi. They made the stop there, but still a 6-yard pickup that time by Butler. Brings up a 2nd down and 4. Joe Butler out of Lewis High School at 5'8", 185 pounds, has some really powerful legs and shown that time, and really keeping them driving and churning up the field to pick up the 6 yards. 2nd down and 4 for the West. Stewart and his backfield of Hogan and Butler back there, but one lone back. And this time he'll hand off to Hogan, almost a fumble, but getting up that left side and getting some extra yardage out of it will be enough for the 1st and 10. It was a misdirection play to the wide side, but there to make the stop was Hanshew along with Matlock and Fredurking. 7 yards on the pickup that time for Hogan, and 1st and 10 for the West out on their own 23-yard line. Look, again, your quarterback and your running backs for the West will be Stewart along with Hogan and Butler. As the play coming in from the sideline now. And bring brought in by Jonathan Danzel. Here the West is at the line of scrimmage, and the I formation is time for the West off their 1st and 10, and there's a jump by one of the linemen, and a penalty flag falls down, so illegal procedure for the West will cost them 5 yards, as the referees will march it off here and set it back to the 19-yard line, brings up a 1st down and 15 now for the West. Oh, a little bit longer on their 1st down play. Again, they show us that I formation with Butler and Hogan back there. Stewart up under center, calls the cadence. This time we'll hand off to his second man through. That's to Hogan. Hogan getting to the outside, and now it's knocked out of bounds out here after a pickup that time of 4 yards. But finishing him off out here was Evan Frederking. As that time he was able to pick up 4 yards. Hogan getting out there to the outside and just couldn't find that crease to get up the sideline any further, but a pickup of 4 will bring up a 2nd down and 11 for the West. Back out at the 23-yard line. Now Stewart with his I formation in the backfield. This time he will have the quarterback keeper that time after making the fake, and he gets up across the 25 and picking up another 4 yards that time. Justin Matlock, number 44, in on the tackle for the East. But a pickup of 4 will bring up a 3rd down and 7. The ball out to the 27-yard line of the West.
For the West squad.
Justin Matlock making the stop that time for the East All-Stars. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here in his 1st quarter of play. And again, the East on top by 2, 8-6. Oh, here come the West now, looking for a 1st and 10 off of this play. We'll see if they can make it happen. All right, Stewart, they're under center, now drops straight back, looking downfield, lets it fly down there, and the intended receiver that time was Andrew Leeper. He just couldn't get up there high enough. Incomplete pass. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 7 for the West. They'll have to punt it away now. And as we watch the kicking team come onto the field, going back deep to receive for the East will be Cole Smith. And back deep to punt it away for the West will be Chris Ramsey.
Back for the East squad, number 28, Cole.
Well, there's a snap. And Ramsey putting a toe into it. Oh, it kind of shanks it off his foot. And we'll see where the referee is going to mark that one out of bounds. And as they bring it up field, looks like it's going to be a relatively short punt. Out of that, they'll bring it all the way up to midfield at the 40-yard line. That's where the East will take over 1st and 10. So a short field to work with this time for Brent Reedy and the East All-Stars as we watch Cole Smith along with Jared Furman going back into the backfield for the East. Remember, they're on top 8-6 here in this 1st quarter, in the late stage of the 1st quarter. Here's Reedy. Reedy will hand off to that first back through. That's Furman, and Furman will be stuffed right there. A loss of 2 yards on the play. In on the tackle, number 56, Levi Puchop, along with number 54 for the West. That was Jacob Latta from Mankato High School. And so that will be a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd down and 12. And now we've got a timeout on the field. An official's timeout. Well, we'll wait and see what happens here with the official's timeout. But again, here on the afternoon, a little bit warmer here this afternoon, about 75 to 80 degrees. Looks like that we could get a drop of rain or two anytime, but not threatening right now. All right, looks like we're going to get back to action here with the East, and a 2nd down and 12 from their own 38-yard line. Again, Reedy, your quarterback, Smith and Furman in the backfield split. This time, Reedy will have the quarterback keeper trying to get to the outside. He's going to be tackled for a loss on the play. There to make the stop and get a hold of the leg and trip him up. Jacob Latta, number 54, there to make the stop for the West out of Mankato. That 6-foot, 195-pounder. And took Reedy to the turf, a loss of 2 on the play. So 2 consecutive losses here sets up now a 3rd down and 14 for the East from their own 36-yard line after having great field position at midfield. Reedy, along with Smith and Furman in the backfield. This time the one lone back, that's Furman. All right, here's Reedy, drop straight back, and the screen pass out here to Furman, and Furman off this near side all the way up the field down to the 30-yard line. A 14-yard pickup that time for Furman after the screen pass from Reedy. Oding, along with Tyler Woolfolk, out there to make the stop. It's going to be awfully close to a first down. We'll wait and see if they mark it. Yes, they do. 1st and 10 for the East on the west 30-yard line. So that time the pass play from Reedy to Furman off the screen worked. But again, Furman with that rambling out there in the open got him the 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the East squad.
As Reedy, along with Jared Furman and Cole Smith, again will be in the backfield here for the East as they now have this first down deep down in West territory. Time running out here in this first quarter. See if they get the play off. There's a handoff to Cole Smith. Cole Smith off that right side. He's going to be tackled over there after a short gain of 3 yards. There to make the stop was Trent Knuckles. And that's going to be the end of our first quarter of play here at Trojan Field in this 1999 8-man All-Star football game with the East on top, 8-6. So we'll move into the second quarter now with the East still in control of the football. They'll have a 2nd and 7 when we get back to action here from the west 27-yard line. In that first quarter of play, we witnessed some good defensive plays, but also some pretty much ball control by the West squad. And what the coaches were thinking that their offensive line was going to be able to control the line of scrimmage and pretty much have done that to this point. We'll see how that unfolds for the rest of the game. Again, the East with a 2nd and 7 on the west 27. And Reedy, along with his running back Smith and Furman. And here comes the East now with a back split this time. As we take a look at Reedy calling the cadence. And he'll hand off to the second man through. That is to Cole Smith. Cole Smith off that left side. A little dive with their off left tackle. And he'll gain 7 on the play. Coming up with a tackle is Jamie Ritzke. Jamie Ritzke for the East making that stop. Correction for the West making that stop. He's from Coldwater High School. Brings up a 3rd and a foot right at the 20-yard line of the West. Got a new quarterback into the game now. Seth Bourne checks in for the East. Seth Bourne out of St. Paul High School. Still Smith and Furman in the backfield, and the backs are split. Here's Bourne, and Bourne with a quarterback keeper. He's going to be back there being run down, and now is caught and sacked. Bourne couldn't get away. He was looking for a pass play that time downfield, but in there to throw him for a loss was John Danzel along with Tyler Woolfolk. So a loss of 5 on the play sends the ball back to the 25-yard line, brings up a 4th down and 6 for the East. They were just a foot away from a first down and digging deeper into the West territory, but now looking at a 4th down and 6 from the 25. Bourne still your quarterback. They've got the lone back. Out wide is Rock along with Westhoff. And here's Bourne, drops straight back, looking downfield. Now lets it fly down there. And it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted this time by Jamie Ritzke. Jamie Ritzke up that far side, weaving in and out of his blockers, but finally is brought down out there beyond the 25 at about the 30-yard line. And a penalty flag has dropped on the play. See what that's going to be. And we'll get the officials to indicate what it will be. It's going to be a personal foul on the East. And matter of fact, there's another flag that dropped, so 2 personal fouls against the East. Yes, 2 of them back to back. So that's really going to cost the East. Not only have they lost the football, but it's going to give the West great field position. They have a big break there because the East was driving here, and then all of a sudden things have turned sour for them on this particular drive. So as we watch the referees march it off, it's going to give the East, give the West great field position. That will take it all the way down to the East 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the West. As they'd marched off the first personal foul and now the second one, and they take it down there to the 23-yard line, and that's where they'll place it down. So with 2 back-to-back personal fouls after the interception, that really was a big
first down.
break for the West, and it really cost the East that time. Here we go. Cole Ballard back into the ball game. Chad Pitts along with Justin Kendall in the backfield. Ballard calling cadence this time. Ballard with the quarterback keeper getting out here to the outside. He'll pick up 5 down to the 15, and now he's knocked out of bounds down there near the 11-yard line. A pick up that time of 9 yards. There to make the stop and knock him out of bounds was Phil Bussing along with Corey Wirtz. But a 9-yard pickup that time by the quarterback Cole Ballard brings up a 2nd down and 1 as they'll place the ball at the 14-yard line. That's where that they say he was knocked out of bounds.
From the 14-yard
line. 2nd down and 1 as the play is brought in this time, and brought in by Stewart. We take a look at the 2nd down and 1 play here by the West. Wide outs both sides. Cole Ballard this time off the quarterback keeper once again. Down to the 10, down to the 5, and now all the way in for the touchdown. Cole Ballard getting some great blocking out there on the wide side of the field on the quarterback keeper, and romps in from 14 yards out as the West has retaken the lead here, and now on top, 12-8. Just 2 back-to-back quarterback keepers by Cole Ballard, and some great blocking by that big offensive line. And the wideouts out to the outside really produced some big yardage for Cole Ballard. Take a look at the point after touchdown here now as the West will set up to go for 2. Ballard along with Petts and Kendall again in the backfield. Receivers is Leeper. As we take a look at Leeper spread out there wide to the right. Now here's a handoff right up the gut going to Petts, and he's in there for the conversion. So the West tacks on 2 more points here and is on top 14-8. 13 minutes left here in this first half of play. What a turnaround there as the East was on a drive and making their way down the field. And then all of a sudden, the interception and the 2 personal fouls really costing them, and the West taking advantage of it with a short field, just 23 yards to go and 2 plays. They stick it into the end zone, and they are on top now, 14-8. It's set for the kickoff here. It will be John Danzel who will kick off for the West, and back to receive for the East will be Cole Smith along with Lee Driver. As we watch John Danzel now tee it up
for the East, number 20, Lee Driver.
right there at the 30-yard line. So the West on top again for the 2nd time in this ball game here in the first half. 14-8. Here is Danzel. He approaches the football, sticks a foot into it. Nice end-over-end kick, and going to go down there. It will be picked up by Cole Smith, and Cole Smith coming to the wide side of the field, getting a couple of good blocks there, and now is going to be knocked out of bounds down close to the West 25-yard line. Cole Smith with a good run that time and a great block by Joey Midget that really sprung him to the outside as he fielded at the 16 and making all the way down as they place it down at the 27-yard line. Well, Cole Smith with a good run that time gives the East great field position again as they're down on the 27 of the West. 1st and 10. Seth Bourne back in there as the quarterback along with Jared Furman and Lee Driver. Here's the backs are split this time as Bourne looks over the defense. Now this time he'll hand off to Driver, and Driver off that right side will drive it right inside the 25-yard line down to the 24. So a pick up that time, 3 yards, brings up a 2nd down and 7 for the East. Lee Driver that time keeping the legs churning and moved off that right side for a pickup of 3.
7 from the 24-yard line for the East.
Bourne brings the East offense to the line. Again, the backs are split, Furman and Driver. As Bourne calls the cadence, a little jumpy there by the defense. Now the handoff to Driver again, but Driver's going to be stuffed right there for a loss on the play as he couldn't get going anywhere. Travis laid them along with Mike Kendall in there to make the stop, and a loss of 2 for Lee Driver that time. There was nothing doing over there on that left side as great penetration by the defense. That loss of 2 sets up a 3rd down and 9 now from the 26-yard line of the West. Again, the East, when getting down there deep in West territory, finding themselves in great position, but then seemingly at this point not able to take advantage of it. All right, here we go. Back split once again. Furman and Driver. Bourne your quarterback. takes a snap. Now he's going to hand off to Furman. Furman off that left side, and Furman will get some extra yardage out of it. He picks up about 5 as there was a little misdirection dive play off the left side. And making a stop there was Trent Knuckles. So a pickup of 5 will bring up a 4th down. Looks like we've got an official's timeout, a little equipment problem. Going to get that taken care of. Nevertheless, it will set up a 4th down and 4 from the 21-yard line. And the East possibly will go for it as we wait for the equipment repair. We see that happening right there behind the huddle of the East. Get that done. So they are going for it. Here our backs are split. Bourne, your quarterback. And this time, Bourne hands off to the first back through, and that was to Furman. Furman getting 5 yards out of it, and just enough for the 1st and 10. There to make the stop was Clint Cox for the West. But on that 4th and 4, it was Furman who went right up the gut to pick up 5 yards and getting the 1st and 10 on the West 16. So now the East being able to come back from that earlier loss by Driver has come back to get the 1st down here on the 16-yard line of the West, trying to stick this into the end zone. So here Bourne along with Jared Furman and Lee Driver split to the right side. The lone back is Furman. Bourne hands off to Furman again, right up the gut, going to pick up some extra yardage. He'll get about 5 out of it as he goes right up the middle, and the stop is made by Justin Ringwald in there to make the tackle. Justin Ringwald, the 5'8", 215-pounder out of Quivira Heights High School, was able to stop Furman. Furman gets started and he gets a little seam up that middle. He can get some extra yardage out of it. Brings up a 2nd down and 5 with the ball on the 11-yard line. As the East driving deeper now here into West Territory. Bourne, one lone back again. Furman, a handoff to Furman one more time. And Furman hit with just a 1-yard gain as he went right up the gut. But there to make the stop, Travis Latham and Clint Cox, as he was really hit hard right there after a 1-yard pickup. The West, the time reacting to that delay handoff to Furman. He goes right up the middle. 3rd down and 4 now for the East. The ball just inside the 10-yard line. Need 4 yards to get an extra set of downs here. Bourne with your back split, Lee and Cole Smith this time, and there was movement by Joey Midget, is the guy who moved that time. So the penalty will be a 5-yard penalty. Illegal procedure on the offense on the East All-Stars, so that will set them back 5 yards. And again, the East
3rd down and 8.
just seemingly, when they get down here deep in the West Territory, having a problem putting everything all together. Now brings up a 3rd down and 9, and the ball setting just inside the 15-yard line. As we watch Driver along with Joey Midgets back there in the backfield. Now here's the pass by Bourne as he lets it fly downfield. It's going to be caught right there at the 1-yard line. Touchdown for the East. With the reception, that was Kevin Cook. Boy, did he make a nice reception right there with Clint Cox all over him. Had a shot to knock it down and just couldn't get it done, but a great catch by Kevin Cook. Seth Bourne lofted that one right down there just inside the 5-yard line at about the 2. And Cook steps into the end zone, and the East is on the board again. We're all knotted at 14 all, and here the East goes for the point after. Bourne, now Furman back in there along with Driver. And the lone back is Furman. Here's Bourne under center. And Bourne this time drops back, and lets it fly out there. And wow, what a hit out there that knocked the pass loose. It was intended for Zach Westhoff, but Trent Knuckles out there made a super hit, caused Westhoff to drop the ball, and so the point after touchdown is no good, and we're still knotted at 14. 9 minutes left in this first half. But finally, the East, after getting down there deep in West Territory, able to convert and get it into the end zone. So we're tied up one more time at 14 all.
The score is 14.
The East now will get ready to kick off here, as thus far no one really has taken real control of this football game. But as I've mentioned several times throughout this first half, that the West coaches really feel like that their huge offensive line is going to be able to take control of this game and will wear down the East defenders throughout the rest of this first half and possibly in the second half. They have enough people, enough size, and enough strength, and that's what they're kind of counting on. They looked last year at the size of the East All-Stars, and that's kind of what happened last year. And now the West feels like they have that type of team this year that they can do the same thing to the East. Here we go with the kickoff. It'll be Mitch Webster who will do the kickoff duties. Back deep to return, number 35 is Justin Kendall. As we watch Webster approach the football, and it'll end over in boot down there. It is gets loose down inside the 5, and with it out there is Ringwald coming all the way to the right side. He will be tackled, brought down by Ryan Poe as he fielded about the 2 and returned out to the 9-yard line, and that's all the farther he's going to get. So it'll set up a 1st and 10 from the West's own 9-yard line. A short return that time. Good coverage by the East defenders. 1st and 10. Well, the West, Cole Ballard back in. There's the quarterback. Petz is in the backfield along with Kendall. Now here Ballard with the quarterback keeper off that right side, short side of the field. He's going to get some extra yardage out of it as he got some real good blocking on that weak side of the field over there. Picking up 7 in to make the tackle, Jeff McPeak for the East. McPeak out of Wakanda East High School, 5'10", 180-pound linebacker. Made the stop, but not before Ballard picked up 7. 2nd down and 3 now from the 16.
It was number 16, Cole Ballard, brought down by number 55, Jeff McPeak.
Again, Petz and Kendall in the backfield, along with Ballard.
16-yard line.
As we watch Ballard, this time he's going to hand off to that first back through, and a big pickup that time by Chad Petz as he picks up 6 yards and gets the 1st down. He'll move the stakes on the far side of the field. Then to make the tackle was Brett Oding along with Justin Smits, but that 6-yard pickup gives a 1st down to the West and out at their own 22-yard line. Oh, the West, again, we see that big offensive line. They really make some holes there. And the running backs not having to look too hard. They can really pick and choose where they want to run. Ballard, along with Petz and Kendall. Now here Ballard pitches back out here to Kendall. Kendall getting around out to the outside, breaks 1 tackle. Now gets out across the 25, close to the 26-yard line. We'll call it the 26 anyway, but a pickup of 3 yards that time. Handshoe along with Turek and Matlock, all there to make the stop on Kendall. So a 2nd down and 7 now. The ball setting on the West 26-yard line.
A gain of 3 will be 2nd down and 7.
Play being brought in from the far side.
From the 26-yard line.
As we watch the West approach the football. And 1 lone back, wideouts to both sides. That's Leeper along with Kendall. Now here's the pitch out. Pitch out is out to Petz, and Petz out here to the near side, to the short side of the field, but he does get 5 yards out of it, getting up to the 30-yard line. So a pickup of 5. Justin Matlock there for the stop. Brings up a 3rd and 2 now for the West, down at their own 30. As again, we just watched the West and their big offensive line making some great blocks, but the backs are also making some great moves to get that extra yardage. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 2. And Ballard this time off the quarterback keeper. Almost a broken play, but he's going to have enough for the 1st down. As he bumped into his running back there, that was Petz, but then he was able to go right upfield and pick up 8 yards before Phil Bussing was able to bring him down. But the West, nevertheless, has a 1st and 10 after that 8-yard pickup. Up close to midfield at the West 38-yard line. 1st and 10 as the West appearing to be on a good offensive move right now. Lone back there. Now here's the handoff again going to Chad Petz, and Petz was stuffed right there at the line. That time the East reacted very, very well to that handoff right up the gut to Petz, and he only picks up 1. It was Brandon Ferguson along with Alan Stuckey in to make the big stick right on Chad Petz. Oh, a pickup of 1 brings up a second down, and
official timeout on the field.
well, we're going to call it maybe a pickup of 2. They actually put it up to the close to the 40-yard line, just outside. Second down and a long 8. All right, here we go. Second down and a long 8. One lone back there. Now Ballard drops straight back. A little screen pass play. Just overthrows the intended receiver out there. That was Justin Kendall coming out of the backfield on that screen play. Incomplete pass will bring up a third down and 8 for the West.
Brings up a third down.
That had ramifications there, looking like a big play, but just overthrew on that screen play. And incomplete pass. The West heading up to the line of scrimmage there, right at midfield. Third down and 8. Backs in the I formation. This time dropping straight back is Ballard. Now lofts it downfield out there, going for Corey Reese, but overthrows him. Just beyond the outstretched arms of Corey Reese. In coverage that time was Schmitz back there for the East. Justin Schmitz out of Baileyville High School. So the incomplete pass brings up a 4th down and 8 for the West. As we take a look and see what they're going to do here on this next play with that 4th down and 8. They're right there at midfield. They may feel like that they can make their big offensive line give them some added punch here to maybe get this 8 yards. But now there's a timeout called. A timeout is called by the East.
Timeout called by the East squad.
And so the timeout there as both ball clubs go to their respective benches to talk it over with their coaches. And now here we are back in action as with the look like they were going to go for it. Now back to punt it away is Zach Westhoff, and a quick kick this time as he releases it down there out of bounds, and there was nobody back to receive that. Obviously, it was a fake type of situation. They looked like they were going to go for it, and then Zach Westhoff just jumped back there, and a quick kick went out of bounds to the 17-yard line.
Kick goes out of bounds at the 17-yard line where the
So now the East will take over.
1st and 10 from the 17.
After the punt on their own 17, 1st and 10, as Seth Bourne is back in there, will be the quarterback, along with Joey Midget and Lee Driver in the backfield. Here comes the East now. As Bourne takes a look at his split backfield, and here is a pitch out going back to Lee Driver. Driver trying to get to the outside, but Driver can't get to the corner and get it turned, as he will lose a half a yard on the play. Tyler Woolfolk there to drag him down. Got him by the shoulder pads and just drug him to the turf for a loss of a half a yard. Brings up a second down. We'll call it 11 from the 16-yard line. That quick pitch out there to the short side of the field, the West defense really reacted to that. Now, here's Bourne again, Joey Midget along with Lee Driver. And the back split one more time. Here's a handoff to Driver again, going to that short side of the field. This time he's going to pick and weave. He'll get some positive yardage out of it. Matter of fact, he picked up 4 yards on the carry out there to the short side of the field before Brett Oding, along with Clint Cox, able to get over there and knock him down right at the 20-yard line, I believe. Yes, it is. Right at the 20. 3rd down and 7. Now for the East. So you would think possibly a pass play here. But we'll see what has been called by the coaching staff. Seth Bourne, along with Midget and Driver, split again in the backfield. Now, here is the handoff right up the middle to Midget. Doesn't get a thing out of it. He's stuck right there at the 20-yard line. Justin Ringwald came up with a big stop. So no yardage, and brings up a 4th down and 7. The East will have to put it away. 4th down and 7 from their own 20. As we watch Brent Reedy come back in to the game to do the punting duties for the East. As we take a look here.
Number 11 back.
And there's a low snap. It gets through the legs of Brent Reedy. He's back into the end zone, and he's tackled back there for his safety. Host of defenders back there for the West making the tackle and making sure that Brent Reedy stays down, but it adds 2 more points to the West score. They now take a 16-14 lead here with 3 minutes left in this first half of play. So the East, having things go sour for them here on this particular offensive possession, ends up with a safety for the West. And so now they'll have to kick off to the West, and so the West will get another offensive opportunity to tack on some more points here before the end of this first half of play. As we watch the East come back out onto the field here, and kicking off will be Mitch Webster. Back deep to receive for the West will be Oding along with Ringwald. But in to kick off this time, Webster will kick off the tee. They could have either kicked off the tee or punted, either way. But they chose to kick off the tee back there at the 15-yard line. As we watch Webster backing off and getting ready to kick off here after the safety. Now he approaches, and it's a low line drive kick. It will go out of bounds at the 26-yard line. As that off the penalty by the East. They're deciding what they want to do now with it. But that kickoff did go out of bounds at the 26, and one of the co-captains there talking with the official as they decide where they will place it down. So with that penalty, I believe it's going to move it up at midfield. And looks apparently that's what will happen as we get the indication from the referee. Illegal procedure by the East, so it will be 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Right at midfield for the West. Great position. So just a short field to work with as the West takes over on offense. We watch now as Seth Stewart comes back out as the quarterback here. Under 3 minutes to go in his first half of play. Also Scott Hogan along with Joe Butler in as the running backs for the West. Oh, here we go with a new backfield. Stewart along with Hogan and Butler.
From the 40-yard line.
One lone back, and split out there to the wide side is Hogan. And Stewart, he'll hand off as coming around is Scott Hogan, getting around here to the outside, and Hogan's going to pick up a bundle. Matter of fact, about 13 yards on the carry. As it looked like they were going to go to the short side of the field, then came right back around with a handoff to the wide side, and Hogan picking up 13 yards before Corey Wirtz and Mark Harder could make the stop. 1st and 10 for the West down at the East 27-yard line. So off this short field, the West trying to take advantage here after that punt that went out of bounds and penalty on the East and set it up right at midfield. The West trying to take advantage of this short field. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the East 27. Stewart along with Butler and Joey Midget now in the backfield for the West. Here in motion is Hogan. There's a handoff to Joe Butler. Butler off that right side, and Butler will pick up about 4 yards as he was churning and turning up there right behind that big offensive tackle. But there to make the stop was Harder along with Bussing, but a gain of 4 that time by Midget. Brings up a 2nd down and 6. Ball down to the 23-yard line of the East. As the time continues to roll down here in the late stages of this first half of play, this 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. Here we go again. Stewart along with Butler and Midget. In motion again is Hogan. There's a pitch out to Butler to that right side, down to the 20-yard line or right at the 20. Man, you really got hit right there by Hilton along with Corey Wirtz. But Chad Hilton was the one that made the real stick on him first. Then Corey Wirtz finished him off. A 2-yard gain, though, for the West that time, and Joe Butler. Now there's a timeout on the field as the offense wants to talk it over. Here as we get down to the waning moments of this first half of play. 3rd down and 4 from just about the 21-yard line. Midget and Joe Butler in the backfield. The lone back is Butler. Stewart, now he's going to hand off to Butler, and Butler off that left side. Is he going to get the necessary yardage? I don't think so. He didn't get very much. He may have picked up about 1.5 yards, possibly 2. See where they place it down. But he was stopped there by Kevin Fredurking along with Jeff McPeak. But only a gain of about 1.5 yards. And so that will bring up a 4th down and 3, and again a timeout for the West. as they decide what play they want to run here next. As you know, they're going to go for it. They're down there deep in East territory with that 4th down and 3. The ball is on the 19.5-yard line. I'll see what kind of an offensive scheme this time that the West coaching staff will come up with. Jeff Blattner, the head coach for the West from Haviland High School. Now, here we go. As Stewart, along with Butler, and again Joey Midget, your running backs, and they're in an I formation this time. Butler, the up back. Here's Stewart. Stewart now off the quarterback keeper. He's to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Seth Stewart making a really nice move that time as he followed his blocking off that right side and then cut it back across the field for the 19.5-yard romp and the touchdown for the West, as now they go up 22-14. Chad Hilton tried to make a diving try at him, but just came up short. But Stewart that time showing the quick feet and got into the end zone. Oh, the West on top, 22-14. Here we go with a point after touchdown. Stewart along with Butler and Midget. And Butler is your lone back. Out wide there to the right side is Forrest along with Midget. Now the pitch out to Butler. Butler can't be touched at all as he romps in from 3 yards out. And the West get to 2 more points as they're on top by 10 here, 24-14. And again, down here at the closing moments of this first half of play. That time, just a quick pitch to Butler, and he swung it to the outside, untouched, and in the end zone, 24-14, the West on top. And again, as I'd mentioned earlier, you're watching that big offensive line for the West take control of the trenches in this 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. Well, the West will have to kick off now as we watch John Danzel out there getting loosened up and ready. Now you'll set it down and place it on the tee. Back deep to receive for the East will be Lee Driver along with Cole Smith. But John Danzel is your kickoff man for the West All-Stars.
Number 20, Lee Driver. Number 20,
and we watch Danzel get the wait for the signal by the referee. Here we go. And here's a long end-over-end boot way down there and is taken in the end zone, but a touchback as Cole Smith caught it in the end zone and down it right there. They'll bring it out
First and 10 for the East squad with 1:49
to the 15-yard line, and that's where the East will take over with a 1st and 10. Boy, Danzel really got a toe into that one. 1st and 10. From the 15. Seth Bourne again your quarterback, and Jared Furman along with Lee Driver. One lone back, that's Furman. Now Bourne to pass, lost it out here to the wide side. Oh, almost a nice one-handed grab that time as the pass was intended for Driver, a little bit behind him, but he reached back and almost came up with a super grab, but couldn't draw it in as Jason Woolitz was about there to cover him, and good coverage on Driver. But the incomplete pass brings up a 2nd down and 10. Again, we see the play coming in for the East being brought in by Trevor Stuma. He's from Wakanda East High School. Again, Furman and Driver will be your running backs as they show us the split set with Bourne your quarterback. Here's the handoff this time to Furman, and Furman is stuck right there. He will not get anything. Matter of fact, it could be a loss on the play, and it is. A loss of one. Jacob Latta along with the Levi Puchop there to make the stop as those two big guys really put a stick on Jared Furman. Loss of one brings up a 3rd down and 11. The ball on the 19-yard line.
3rd down and 11 for the East squad.
Oh, the play coming in this time from Kevin Cook as he brings it in from the sideline. Bourne brings the East to the line of scrimmage. Back split again, Furman and Driver. As time, Bourne rolls out here to the wide side looking to pass downfield. Now Bourne draws it in. He'll make the quarterback keeper downfield. He'll pick up maybe 5 yards on the play, getting it out to the 20-yard line. Bourne was looking for the pass play that time, but ended up with a good coverage by the West defense. He had nobody to throw to and then had to run it downfield. He did pick up 5 yards before John Danzel, along with Mike Kendall, there to put him on the ground and pick up a 5, brings up a 4th down and 6 from the 24. There's a timeout on the field with 50 seconds left here in this first half as the West wants to talk it over a little bit. Now the timeout is over with, and we're going to go back to action here with Brent Reedy back in as the quarterback for the East, and Reedy's going to punt it away. He stepped back in punt formation, and on the ground, almost lost it again. Now he gets off a short high punt, bounces there, and it'll be a roll for the West as they have a short field to work with. It was down to at the 31-yard line of the East. So a very, very short punt that time. Matter of fact, only 7 yards on the punt. 40 seconds left in this first half now as the West will have the football, 1st and 10 from the East 31. And we see Stewart, along with Joe Butler and Scott Hogan, back in as the running backs. In motion is Hogan. They're going to hand off to Hogan, coming around. Now he steps inside, but he's popped right there at the 30-yard line. Brandon Ferguson really put a pop on him right there and knocked him to the turf. Only a half-yard gain, as it's just outside the 30-yard line, about the 30 and a half. So it brings up a 2nd down and a long 9 for the West. Here again in the backfield is Butler. Butler lone back, and now again Stewart now lofts it downfield. Oh, just going out there for Hogan off the pass play intended for him, but just could not draw it in. He had one hand on it, but dropped it. Oh, incomplete pass. Brings up a 3rd down and 9 for the West. We watch the West now. They send Hogan out wide to the right side. Butler in the backfield. Leaper also here to the left. Now Stewart drops straight back, looking for a little screen pass play. It's intercepted. Intercepted this time, and there to make the interception was Alan Stuckey. Alan Stuckey pulled down by Joe Butler after Stuckey was right there in the middle and stepped in front and made the interception. So the East takes over. 4 seconds left here in this first half as the East came up with a big defensive play to make the stop there. So the East with that 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line with 4 seconds left in the first half. Should be one play, and you never know, it could go the full length of the field. But that big defense by the West, you know that they're going to do everything they can to not allow a late easy play for the East. So again, we watch Brent Reedy talking it over with his offensive unit, and most likely will be a pass play with just 4 seconds left. Brent Reedy, the quarterback. And he's got wideouts to the near side of the field. One lone back there as Reedy up under center. Now drops straight back, looking. Now lost it downfield, and that throws out of bounds. And the intended receiver was Lee Driver down there, but that's the end of our first half of play with the West 24, the East 14. Take a real quick look here at some limited stats for that first half of play. Both ball clubs ending up with 5 first downs in that first half, but the West ending up with 170 yards rushing and the East with 100. So again, there shows the attack of the West on the ground and their big offensive line able to pick up 70 more yards on the ground, which allowed them to end up with that 10-point lead as we head into the second half, 24-14. And we get set now for the second half of play. John Dangel has it teed up and ready to go. As we take a look at the East back there awaiting the kickoff. And D'Angelo waiting the signal from the referee to get this second half of play underway here in his 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. And here he goes. Puts a toe into it, a high end-over-end boot way down there deep into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Back there to put it down is Joey Midget. He's the one that made the grab and downed it right there. So the East will start off with a 1st and 10 on their own 15-yard line. Off the touchback, we see Brent Reedy back in as the quarterback for the East, along with Jared Furman in the backfield. All right, here we go with a wide out to both sides, and here is the handoff to Furman, and he's going to be stopped right there as there's a big rush that time by the West defense, and in there to make the tackle was Jacob Latta along with Justin Ringwald, and a loss of 4 yards that time.
Jacob Latta, number 25, Justin Ringwald. Loss on the play of about 4 brings up a
loss of 4 brings up a second down and 14. The ball back on the 11-yard line for the East, so not starting off the way they wanted to here in the start of the second half. All right, Furman and Driver, your running backs. Furman again back there, the lone back. Out here is a wideout is Driver. Reedy the quarterback. He drops straight back, looks, throws out here into the flat, and it is caught as the intended receiver was Lee Driver, and he picks up some extra yardage out there, a pickup of 9, getting it out to the 20-yard line. Out in defense was Corey Wirtz for the West, but a pickup of 9 that time off of the complete pass from Reedy to Lee Driver. Brings up a 3rd down and 5 from the East 20-yard line. Bringing the play in now for the East is Cole Smith. I believe Furman has come out of there. Cole Smith into the backfield. He'll be a wideout. Driver out there. Now here is Reedy again, looking, has lots of time. Now he'll roll out with the quarterback keeper. He'll be stopped for just a yard gain. As he looked downfield, the defense was great coverage out there, but then had to come here to the weak side and was only able to pick up 1 yard after Travis Latham out there to make the tackle and to bring up a 4th down and 5 for the East, and they'll have to punt it away. So Brent Reedy will stay out there. He's been doing the punting duties for the most part of that first half. And back deep to receive the punt will be Brett Oding for the West. Here is the punt, and it's a high spiral-type punt taken down there by Oding. Oding at the 26, now getting to that right side, picking and weaving. There is stopped out at the 37-yard line. It was Trevor Stuma who was in there to make the tackle, but a return of 11 yards that time by Brett Oding, giving the West a 1st and 10 out at their own 37-yard line. So right out there real close to midfield as we watch Cole Ballard coming back in to take over the helm for the West here in the second half, along with his running backs, Chad Petts, along with Justin Kendall. Here we go. They've got the lone running back. The receiver out there is Andrew Leeper. Here's Cole Ballard off the quarterback keeper off that right side. He's going to get some extra yardage out of it. Picks up almost 9 on the play. As it was a quarterback keeper all the way. He just took the snap, took a step back, and went with that short side of the field and followed his big tackle right up the field for 9 yards. Evan Fedurking was the tackler on that play that made the stop on Cole Ballard. So a 2nd down and 1, the ball on the East 34-yard line. So the West starts off here with somewhat of a short field, now into East territory, and trying to stick it into the end zone here early. All right, here is Ballard again, drops right back and takes a look, lofts it downfield, and the pass is caught down there by Ben Forrest. Nice look that time by Ballard. He lofted it right downfield. Then defense was Chad Hilton, but again, Ben Forrest came up with a nice grab all the way down to the 10-yard line. So a pickup of 24 yards on that pass play from Ballard to Ben Forrest. So now the West with a 1st and 10. The ball is resting right on top of the 10-yard line. They'd have to get it into the end zone there. Here. I don't think they could get a 1st and 10. All right, here's a handoff to Petts, and Petts right up the middle, but he's going to be stopped right there for a short gain. This time the East defense was right there to pick that up, and Corey Wirtz and Justin Matlock. in on the tackle.
Down by number 43,
A gain of 1
Ward,
for Pets
Ward,
and the West All-Stars.
Justin Matlack.
Second down and 9 at the 9.
For the West squad.
We watch the West now in their huddle to set up this particular play. As Ballard, along with Pets and Kendall, up to the line of scrimmage. Ben Forrest is your receiver. Out there to the short side of the field. Here's Ballard, takes a snap. Now the pitch back to Pets. And Pets fumbled the ball, but got back on top of it. But there to make sure that he was down was Chat Hilton. A 6'5", 195-pound defensive back, and a loss of 4 on the play, all the way back to the 13-yard line. Sets up a third down at 13 from the 13. Taking a look at the East defense there, and the East defense co-captain, that's Corey Wirtz, that sets up the defense. He's from Lynn High School. Now the West approaching the line of scrimmage. Ben Forrest out there wide to the right. Here on the third down at 13. Penalty flags drop on the play. And a tackle was made here by Justin Matlock, as Matlock making the stop that time on Kendall. But the penalty flag down looks like that it could be illegal motion against the West. Will bring up a, if they decline it, if the East would decline to bring up a fourth down at 14. We see the illegal motion. It is declined by the East, so it does bring up a fourth down and 14 yards for the West. Oh, you know that the West is going to go for it here. They're on about the 15-yard line. Fourth down and 14. Here's Ballard, throws downfield, lost it down there, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Andrew Leeper, and he was just stretched out too far and thrown away and out of bounds. So the East will take over on downs after stopping the West down deep in their own territory. And the East will take over on their own 14, first and 10. So the East did come up with some big defensive plays that time, but maybe some of it the West kind of shooting themselves in the own foot. That fumble really cost them. Now the East with Brent Reedy back in there at quarterback. Again, Jared Furman along with Cole Smith. Zach Westhoff is your wideout. All right, here's Reedy. Reedy dropping straight back, little screen pass play, and it's going to be incomplete. Almost picked off that time by the West. There was Tyler Woolfolk. He almost had the interception, but couldn't hang on to it. And that would have been disastrous, as it would have been a really short field for the West. But nevertheless, it brings up a second down and 10 from the East 14. That's Philip Rock coming out of the game. Now Reedy brings his offensive unit to the line of scrimmage. Lead driver out wide there to the left. And here's the pass play out there into the flat. It is complete to Driver, but Driver doesn't get very much off of it. Matter of fact, there's no gain on the play. There to make sure that he didn't get any extra yardage was Jason Woolitz to make the stop for the West, as that brings up now a third down and 10, again from the 14-yard line of the East. So obviously looking probably at another pass play here with Reedy and Furman and Smith in the backfield. As we take a look at the split back set this time, as Reedy looks it over, calls the cadence. Now he'll drop straight back, looking, and lets it fly downfield. It's kind of a wounded duck type of pass situation. It's intercepted by Tyler Woolfolk, and he'll take it all the way down, I believe, inside of the 7-yard line and about the 6. As he picked it off at about the 23 and returned it all the way back to the 6-yard line. So now the West has intercepted, and they have a first and goal on the 6-yard line. That time, Reedy really threw up a wounded duck out there, and it was picked off by Tyler Woolfolk. So the West with a golden opportunity here to tack on some more, as they're only 6 yards away from pay dirt. Cole Ballard is your quarterback. Jack Betts and Justin Kendall are your running backs. Now in motion. Here comes Kendall. Here's a pitch out to Petts. Petts getting around to the outside, inside the 5, down close to the 3-yard line, and that's where he'll be brought down by Brandon Henshaw along with Brandon Ferguson. So a gain of 3 on the play brings up a 2nd down and goal from the 3.
Goal from the 3-yard line.
So the West keeping it on the ground here. And Ballard again with Petz and Kendall, as Kendall is split out wide to the right side. Now here's a quarterback keeper by Ballard, right up the gut, and a touchdown as Cole Ballard takes it in from 3 yards out. Again, that big offensive line up front just pushing and shoving and getting the East defenders out of the way. And another touchdown for the West as they go on top 30-14. And we'll go for the point after here now, as the West calling their play. The play coming in from the sideline as we watch Ballard bring his offensive unit to the line of scrimmage. Out wide is Kendall, and now there appears to be a timeout called.
West squad.
And there is a timeout on the field as the West wants to talk it over again, just exactly what they want to do here. And now as we take a look at the head coach for the East going out to talk it over with his defensive unit. And the referees, they're huddled up there for a little committee meeting, waiting for the East to come back on defense here for this point after touchdown. And yeah, I said, boys, let's get her going. Oh, the West up at the line of scrimmage. Here come the East now to try to stop the West on this point after touchdown. As we watch Ballard head up to center. His lone back there. Ballard takes a snap. Now the pitch out back to Petz. Petz trying to get to the outside, and not so. There's no room to run out there with Brandon Henshaw along with Chad Hilton. They made really good penetration that time and made the stop, as there was nothing out there, nothing doing. But nevertheless, the West on top 30-14 here early in the second half of play. So again, we watch on those particular plays that time, we watch the West offensive line with their strength and their size really doing the job in the trenches down there to allow Cole Ballard to get into the end zone and get the touchdown, and giving the West that comfortable lead now. A comfortable lead of 16. 30-14 is our score. John Danzel has it teed up, and he will await the signal from the referee to boot it away. Back deep to receive for the East is Cole Smith. As we watch Danzel approach the football and stick a foot in it, a high end-over-end boot. It's going to be taken down there by Smith. And Smith on the 13 all the way back out to the 24-yard line. But Chad Petz in there to make the tackle for the West. But Cole Smith taking that on the 13, getting an 11-yard return back to the 24. So it sets up a 1st and 10 for the East on their own 24-yard line. Brent Reedy along with Jared Furman, Lee Driver again in the backfield. But Lee Driver this time is split along with Phil Rock. Now, here is a handoff right up the middle going to Jared Furman, and Furman will get some positive yardage out of it as he really made a nice move up the gut right behind his blocking. Kendall and Licks in on the stop that time for the West. But looky here, the East going with no huddle and quick snap this time on offense. All right, 2nd down and 7. Now the pass out here into the flat. It's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Wolitz, and Wolitz all the way down inside the 5 after picking it off out there in the flat. The intended receiver that time was Philip Rock, but it was picked off by Jason Wolitz. Takes it all the way down to the 3-yard line, and the West knocking on the door one more time. Wow, that time off the quick play, it certainly didn't work in the East's favor, as the West was able to come up with the turnover and the interception, and now they have the football on the East 3-yard line. First and goal. Seth Stewart back in there as a quarterback. Butler and Hogan, your running backs. Butler, the lone back in motion now is Hogan. They'll hand off to Hogan. Hogan at the 5, steps to the 2. Inside, is he in for the touchdown? Do we get the indication? I don't think so. You're going to be just a little bit short. Hogan was trying to reach out for it off that misdirection coming back to the weak side. But there to make the stop was Mark Carter along with Evan Verdurking as Hogan almost had it in for the touchdown. Nevertheless, it will bring up a second down and goal right at the goal line. So here we go. Stewart again with Butler and Hogan. Hogan split out wide to the right. And here's Stewart up the quarterback keeper right up the middle. Touchdown for the West as they've tacked on 6 more.
Keeps the ball for the touchdown.
Again, that offensive line getting a real big surge that time and stuck it right back into the end zone. So the turnover really ends up hurting the East tremendously this time. And the West putting it in the end zone to go on top 36-14. We're going to go for the point after touchdown. We see Cole Ballard coming back in to be the quarterback. Butler and Hogan will stay in there. As we're getting down close to just being about halfway through this third quarter of play. Here we go with Ballard again and Butler, your lone back out there. Split out wide to the right is Hogan. Now here is Ballard, lofts a pass out there. It is caught by Leeper, and Leeper makes the grab, and 2 more points for the West as they will go on top 38-14. A little over 8 minutes to go in this third quarter, but the West seemingly right now running away with things. 38-14 here as we're halfway through quarter number 3. Again, after the turnover, the interception by the West, just a couple of plays, and they stick it right into the end zone and then add the point after touchdown. So a comfortable lead right now, and getting ready to kick it off again is John Danzel. He's getting a lot of practice here this afternoon as he tees it up. And we watch Joey Midget going back now to get ready to receive the kickoff. The West with that comfortable lead here on this breezy afternoon in Trojan Stadium here in Beloit, Kansas. As Danzel awaits the signal from the referee, and here we go. One more time, getting a big toe into it. High end over in boot down there, and Joey Midget taking it about the 7-yard line. Joey here to the near side, out to the 20, to the 25, out to the 30. Now he gets stuck right there by Ballard and Knuckles as they make the tackle. But again, Joey Midget feeling it on the 7, going all the way out to the 34-yard line. So a 27-yard pickup that time on the return for Joey Midget. The ball is out on the East 34-yard line. 1st and 10 now. Brent Reedy back in as the quarterback. Lead driver and Cole Smith, your running backs. Here they come to the line of scrimmage. They'll show us a back split this time as Brent Reedy looks it over. Reedy now, he'll hand off to that first back through. That's the driver. Driver driving his legs hard off that left side. Picks up 4 yards before Mike Kendall was able to get a hand on him and knock him to the turf. So driver with a pickup of 4 brings up a 2nd down and 6. Ball out the 38-yard line out there close to midfield. As Smith and driver stay in there, the play being brought in that time as we see Philip Rock coming off the field, but Reedy brings his offensive unit to the line of scrimmage. Again, we'll see that split back set. And Reedy now is going to hand off to Cole Smith. Cole Smith can't get to the outside, but out there is Jason Woolitz. Boy, I'll tell you what, he's come up big this afternoon in several occasions. Also out there in assistance with Jamie Ritzke from Coldwater. But a loss of 2 yards on the play for the East will set up now a 3rd down and 8 out at the 36-yard line. So the East, after getting the good return, can't seem to make good of it here off of that 2nd down. So they look at a 3rd down and 8. Reedy, now Furman is back in there. Jared Furman along with the lead driver. Back split again. Here's Reedy, drops back and then wants to pass out there. And the pass is going to be caught The intended receiver that time was Zach Westhoff, as it was almost knocked away by Hanshu. And for Evan Fredurking out there also getting a finger on it, trying to tip it away. But a pickup of 5 that time, as Reedy was able to make the connection to Zach Westhoff. A 5-yard pickup brings up a 4th down and 3. Ball at the 39-yard line, just over midfield on the west at 39. But the East is going to have to punt it away. It'll be Reedy who will do the punting duties. And back deep for the West to receive is Brett Oding. And get another blocker in there. Now Reedy awaiting the snap. And there it is. Low snap on the ground. He does get it away high. End over end boot. It's going to bounce down there about the 7. And into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So into the end zone after that low snap. Reedy was able to pick it up and really get a toe into it. He got a good bounce there at about the 7 and took it into the end zone. So the West will have it 1st and 10 on their own 15. About 6 minutes left here now in this third quarter of play. The West with a 1st and 10 on their own 15. We see Stewart and Joe Butler along with Justin Kendall coming back in to be your running backs. Your receiver is Andrew Leeper. And here we go. We see here to the near side, that is Leeper. Out here to the wide side of the field. Lone back there is Butler. To the other side is Justin Kendall. Here's Stewart. Takes a snap. Now Stewart on the quarterback keeper. Off that short side of the field. He'll pick and weave and get some extra yardage out of it. Matter of fact, gets about 3 yards before being brought down by Evan Fredurking.
Brought down by number 34, Brandon Ferguson.
And with that gain of 3, brings up a 2nd down and 7 ball out at the 18.
2nd down and
so
7.
Stewart in the huddle calls the play that he wants to bring this time. And Butler, the lone back in the backfield. Kendall is split. And Kendall in motion this time to the wide side and gives a handoff to him. He cuts it right back up the middle. Looked like he was going to try to go to the wide side, but then he cuts it right back up the gut, right behind his blocking, right behind center. Picks up 3 yards, but McPeak, Hanshu, and Eisenbarth make the stop. Brings up a 3rd down and 4. The West at their own 21-yard line.
3rd and 4 for the West squad from the 21-yard line.
The play coming in, and this time bringing the play in for the West as we take a look. It looks like that might be Hogan that brought that in. As we take a look at Butler back there in the backfield. In motion was Kendall. There's a handoff to Butler right off that right side, but nothing doing there as Ferguson, along with Hanshu, made sure of it and stopped him for no gain. So Butler picks up no yardage. It'll bring up a 4th down and 4 from the West 21, and the West will have to punt it away. Coming in to do the punting duties now for the West. It'll be Chris Ramsey, and back deep for the East, it'll be Cole Smith. Oh, we wait now the punt by the West here as they look at this 4th down and 4 from their 21-yard line, and here comes an extra blocker onto the field.
Chris Ramsey back to punt for the West.
And there's a penalty flag dropping. And gets the indication from the referee. It is an equipment infraction. Looks like one of the guys came on the field with the chin strap undone. So that's going to cost them 5 yards and put them back just outside the 15 at about the 16-yard line. So now they'll again have to punt it away. Now the snap way back there beyond Chris Ramsey into the end zone. He kicks it out of bounds. So that's going to be a safety for the East as they will get an extra 2 points here. Now back in the first half, the West had picked up a safety, and now the East does the same thing. So the score now 38-16, but the West will have to kick off to the East again. After that safety, after Chris Ramsey just booted out of bounds, really smart play, because had he tried to recover that and maybe missed it, it could have easily been a touchdown for the East had they fallen on top of it. But nevertheless only gives up 2 points in that situation. Both ball clubs over talking to their respective coaches right now as we get set up for the kickoff here. And again, the West will have to kick off. And it appears that, yes, Andrew Leeper will come out to be the kicker for the West. And wait for him to get that set up. To get back to action here. As we take a look at him teeing it up right at the 15-yard line. Either kickoff from the tee or from punting situation, but he's choosing to boot it away here off the tee. So here's Leeper and sticks a big toe into it. End over end boot going way down there. And drops at about the 19-yard line. Picked up right there by Cook. And Cook dodges one tackle getting out to the outside. But then the tackle made out here at the 32 by Jamie Risky along with Brent Forrest and Trip Knuckles. So the East will take over on their own 32-yard line, 1st and 10. Just about 4 minutes left here in this third quarter. With the West on top 38-16. Seth Bourne, again, your quarterback for the East. Jared Furman along with Cole Smith in the backfield. They show the split back set this time. All right, Bourne takes a snap, makes a fake, and now looking for the pitch out there. The ball is on the ground, the fumble on the play. Who's going to come up with it? The West does, as Jacob Lana comes in and makes the recovery of the fumbled pitch by Smith, and the West will take over in East territory. Another turnover has cost the East here again, and the West is going to try to take advantage of it as they are on the East 24-yard line. 1st and 10, Cole Ballard comes back in to take over the helm for the West All-Stars. Petts along with Kendall in there as your running backs. They show us the I formation. Now, here is Ballard up under center. Now Ballard off that quarterback keeper, goes off that right side, and Ballard picking up 4 yards before he is stopped by Ryan Poe along with Brandon Ferguson. Ryan Poe is from Norwich High School, 6'2", 170-pound linebacker. And out there also making the stop, Brandon Ferguson from Williamsburg, 6'1", 223. Brings up a 2nd and 6 after that 4-yard pickup by Ballard. Ball is on the 20-yard line, just inside the 20, actually. Ballard, Petts, and Kendall in the backfield. He turns around, makes a comment to his running backs that are in the I formation, and he'll hand off to the second man through. That is Kendall, and Kendall is going to be stuffed right there for just a 1-yard gain. Corey Works along with Mark Harder to make the tackle.
Tripped up by number 43.
Just a gain of 1 brings up a 3rd down and 5. The ball actually on the 19-yard line.
Mark Harder.
After that pickup of 1,
for the West.
the play being brought in now, and brought in by Leeper. Andrew Leeper back in there with the play this time for the West. Here's Ballard along with Petts and Kendall. And I formation. Here is Ballard with the quarterback keeper going to that short side of the field. He gets some extra yardage, about 3 yards on the pickup before Ferguson, McPeak, and Wirtz stop him. He was trying to get there to the outside and couldn't get the corner turned completely to get the 1st and 10. He's going to be short by 2 yards. 4th down and 2. The ball's at the 16-yard line. Just about 2 minutes left now here in this third quarter of play. And again, 38-16 is our score. The West on top here in this 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. Been a couple of years since the West has won here in this All-Star game. The East been the victors the last 2 years in a row. Here we go now with Ballard, Petts, and Kendall up the line of scrimmage. I formation again. As Ballard looks, now the pitch out. Back to Kendall. Kendall trying to get to the outside, and he's going to be drugged down there before he can get to the outside. He tried to get a block from Petts that time, but in there to trip him up was Ryan Poe, as he had made some excellent penetration. And so it'll be the East taking over on downs. Now, deep in their own territory. Actually a loss on that play of 1, so the East will take over on their own 17-yard line. 1st and 10. Reedy, the quarterback again for the East, as Joey Midget along with Jared Furman in the backfield. Showing that split back set. Again, now here's Reedy up under center. In motion goes Midget. And now the handoff to Jared Furman. Jared Furman getting here to the outside. Big yardage this time for Jared Furman. And Brett Oetting saves it from a touchdown, but a 37-yard romp that time by Jared Furman. The motion by Midget really took the defense out of it to the short side of the field. And then Furman cutting it back to the wide side. Got some big yardage out of it. 1st and 10 all the way down to the west 26.5-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, now we see Seth Bourne coming in as the quarterback for the East. Furman and Midget stay in there as the running backs. Big yardage that time by Jared Furman. All right, here's Bourne. Looks back at his split back set. And in motion again is Midget here to the short side. Hand off to Furman one more time, but he doesn't get away this time as Clint Cox, along with Mike Kendall, in to make the tackle. A pickup of 1 that time. So just 1 yard gain. Brings up a 2nd down and 9. Ball at the 24.5. As we take a look at the play coming in for the East, bringing that play in is Cole Smith. Midget and Smith into the backfield, giving Furman a rest now. Bourne, your quarterback. Again, the backs are split. As Bourne looks over the defense, and here is the handoff to Midget. Midget trying to get to the outside, but he's going to lose a yard on the play. Justin Ringwald making the penetration and the stop out there. A loss of 1, so it brings up a 3rd down and 10 now. Ball back at the 26-yard line. Just about 20 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter. As the East looking at this 3rd down and 10. Play being brought in as Midget and Cole Smith still your running backs, and Bourne to run this offensive play. Here's Bourne, and the handoff goes to Cole Smith. Cole Smith getting to the outside, down to the 15, and knocked out of bounds. A pickup of 11 that time. He's going to get the 1st down. Clint Cox was the last defender to make the hit on him and knock him out of bounds. But nevertheless, a 1st and 10 after a good pickup by Cole Smith, as he had taken the handoff and dodged out here to the short side of the field. 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line of the West. Now here's Bourne, Midget, and Smith again. Your backfield is split. As we take a look at Bourne looking over the defense. And now Bourne with the pitch out back to Midget. Midget trying to get to the outside, and he can't get anywhere. He stopped, no gain on the play, as he was tackled out there by Brett Oetting. And I believe that's going to be the end of our 3rd quarter of play, with the West on top 38-16. So now we've just got 1 quarter left here in his 14th annual 8-man all-star football game, with, again, the West in control of this one. And as we'd said at the top of the show, that we really felt like, and the coaches felt like, especially for the West, that they had the horses up front to control the trenches, and they've not left any doubt there at all, because they have controlled the trenches here throughout the ball game, and probably will do even a little more here in the 4th quarter. Temperatures again hovering right around 75 to 80 degrees. A little light breeze today. Not as bad as it has been in previous years here for the all-star football game. But now here we go with our 4th quarter action, and the East with a 2nd and 10 from the 15.5-yard line. Reedy is going to be your quarterback, still doing a little equipment adjustment down there on the West All-Stars, as the official gets that taken care of. And now the East with a 2nd down and 10, as we watch Reedy look over the defense. He has the 1 lone back. That's Cole Smith, lead driver out here to the left side. Now here is Reedy, takes a look, throws downfield, and it's incomplete. Intended pass was for Cole Smith, but there in coverage for the West down there was Clint Cox, along with Brett Oetting, and incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down and 10, again from the 15.5, almost a 16-yard line, as the East knocking on the door down here. But I have yet to get it in this second half of play with the exception of the safety. Now, here's Reedy again. He drops straight back, looks downfield, lets it fly out there into the flat, throws behind his intended receiver, which was Lee Driver. He was going into the end zone, and Reedy was looking for him to make an out cut right there at about the 5. But anyway, an incomplete pass brings up a 4th down and 10 for the East. As we take a look at them setting it up here again. Cole Smith along with Lee Driver. Driver split out there to the short side. Now here's Reedy again. Looks downfield, lofts it down there into the end zone. But there to make the stop was Clint Cox. He was right in position to knock it down and away from Lee Driver, the intended receiver. So the West is going to take over on downs after stopping the East down here on 3 consecutive possessions and downs. So 1st and 10 for the West on their own 16-yard line. We've seen limited time today of Stewart for the West as quarterback, but Cole Ballard is back in there. He's been going most of the way as the QB for the West, along with the running backs in there, Justin Kendall and Chad Petz. So the West taking over on downs here in their own territory, and Ballard up under center as the back split this time. And here's the handoff to Petz right up the middle, but he stopped right there after a yard gain. It was Chad Hilton who came crashing in to make sure that Petz didn't get any more than the single yard. A 1-yard pickup brings 2nd down and 9 from the 17. Bringing the play in for the West is Andrew Leeper back into the lineup. As we take a look at the running backs, Petz and Kendall, as they will be in the backfield. They have Kendall split out here wide to the right side. Petz the lone running back, and here is Ballard. Looks downfield on the pass play. It's caught down there for the West by Andrew Leeper as he was just backing away from the defender, and Ballard lofted up there, and the reception was made. 29 yards on the gain. There to make the stop for the East was Greg Turek, but the West, with that big pickup off the pass play from Ballard to Andrew Leeper, gives them a 1st and 10 down inside the East territory at the 34.
Sorry about that.
Oh, the West taking it downfield again and into East territory. And now the short field to work with a 1st and 10. Ballard, Petz, and Kendall. Kendall is split again. Out here to the wide side. Now here is Ballard. Pitches back to Petz, and Petz getting out here to the outside. He'll pick up 5 yards as he got to the outside before Hilton, and Ferguson ran him down and got him out of bounds. A pickup for 5 that time for Chad Petz and the West. Getting it down to the 29-yard line of the East, 2nd down and 5. Always nice to pick up that much yardage on 1st down, especially off the ground.
2nd down and 5.
They show Kendall split again for the West with Petz the lone back. And Ballard up under center. Here's Ballard again in the pitch out back to Petz again. Petz off that left side. He's not going to get much out there as Mitch Webster made sure of it. The big man from Blue Valley, Randolph, at 6 foot 265. He's also been your kicker, but he got out there to put Petz right to the ground. 1-yard gain.
Mitch Webster.
3rd down and 4 for the West now. Down at the East 28. As we wait to see what they will pull this time for their offensive play here with his 3rd down and 4. Obviously in 4-down territory. Ball on the 28-yard line. Petz and Kendall here in motion. Goes Kendall to the weak side of the field. There's a handoff to Kendall on that weak side. He's in the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Virtually untouched down that far sideline, down the weak side of the field, as Justin Kendall on a 28-yard drop all the way into the end zone. And now the West takes a commanding 44-16 lead, 12:50 left in the ball game. That time Kendall went in motion to the weak side of the field and really virtually untouched down the sideline for the 28-yard pickup and the touchdown. Now for the point after, we watch the West come into the line of scrimmage. Ballard, Petz, and Kendall. And the I formation is shown this time by the West. Now Ballard up and looks for the pass. Passes down there. It's knocked away. As the intended receiver was Andrew Leeper, but in the end zone, actually it was intercepted by Brandon Anshu. So he stops the point after touchdown, and the score stays the West 44, the East 16. You know, the big plays at various times throughout this ball game, and there was none bigger than that one right there with Justin Kendall as he was split out to the wide side of the field and then going in motion back to the weak side and took the handoff and was able to turn the corner. Some big blocks that time by that left side of the offensive line for the West, and untouched down the sideline. You know, you get him out there into the open, he can really get into the end zone in a hurry, and he did. 28 yards out. All right, the West getting ready to kick off, and here's John Danzel again. He's had quite the practice this afternoon here, and kicking off back to receive the kickoff is Trevor Stuma for the East. Trevor Stuma, he is back deep. As we watch Danzel now waiting the indication from the referee to boot it away. And here he goes and puts the foot into it. A low line drive kick. It's taken right down there at the 17, and getting back up here to the near side of the field, about a 10-yard pickup back to the 27-yard line. It was Trevor Stuma who took that line drive kick and caught it, bringing it back on the 10-yard return. Sets up a 1st and 10 for the East on their own 27. And we see Brent Reedy back in as quarterback, along with Jared Furman and Lee Driver. One lone back. Again, that is Furman. Driver out there to the wide side. Now Reedy with the screenplay here to Furman at the 25 to the 30 and getting some extra yardage. About a 14-yard pickup that time off the screenplay as Furman set that up perfectly, and Reedy made the connection, but great block out here by Trevor Eisenbarth to spring Furman for extra yardage. Brett Oeding and Mike Kendall in there to bring him down, but a 1st and 10 for the East as they take this in to West territory at the West 39, 1st and 10. East would certainly like to get something going here and get back onto the board here in this early part of the 4th quarter. As Reedy, and now the high handoff right up the middle to Furman. Doesn't get a lot, but does get about 3 yards out of it before Kendall and Travis Latham brings him to the turf. 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd down and 7. Ball down the 36-yard line of the West. As the East now has sent in another play from the sideline. Coach Keith Cresson and his crew, including Vern Miner of Thayer High School. All right, here goes the East with their split back set this time. And now Reedy, now they pass to the outside out there, and incomplete. Just overthrows Lee Driver, so the incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down and 7 from the 36. That time it just looked like they was just trying to get a little short pass out there to Driver in the flat and let him work on the short side of the field, and it did not work for them. Here we go again with the lone back set. That's Furman. Driver split to the short side of the field. Reedy again looks. Now Reedy off the quarterback keeper, and he's not going to get much out of it. Matter of fact, he is stopped right there. Tyler Woolfolk and Mike Kendall made a great reaction. Just a 4-yard pickup that time for Brent Reedy after he looked like he was going for the throw, then pulled it down for the quarterback keeper. Only 4 yards on the pickup, so it brings up a 4th down and 3. The ball at the 32-yard line of the West.
The ball carrier. Brings up a
4th and 3. You know they're going for it.
For the squad.
They are down 44 to 16. Here's the split back set. Again, it's Furman and Driver. Reedy the quarterback, and this time he's going to roll out to the right, looks downfield and throws a pass. It is incomplete. Intended receiver that time was
pass was intended for number 32,
Jared Furman, but just too low, and he couldn't hang on to it, so the incomplete pass is going to, well, there's a penalty flag on the play. Penalty flag, we'll wait for the indication. Holding is the call on the East, and the West is going to decline it, and they'll take over.
First and 10 from the
So the West will take over on downs here after declining the penalty. First and 10 from their own 33-yard line, and now we see Seth Stewart back into the lineup as the quarterback for the West, along with Joe Butler and Scott Hogan. And there's the running backs, and Ben Forrest in as the wideout. Butler, your lone back. In motion goes Hogan. They're going to hand off to Hogan going to that weak side of the field. He's not going to get very much out of it. Matter of fact, no gain on the play. Justin Matlock stepped right in there and made sure that he didn't get to the weak side corner and get that turned. So no gain on the play. We'll set up a second out and 10 from the 33. Good defensive reaction that time by Justin Matlock for the East All-Stars. He's out of Burton High School. 5'11", 211 pounds defensive end, and stayed put. As we look at a second and 10, Stewart, Butler, and Hogan. And Hogan this time goes in motion back to that weak side. Now cuts up the middle, a pitch out to Butler. Butler out here to the outside, and just caught by one leg there. And getting a hold of him was Chad Hilson, but also helping was Phil Bussing, bringing him down after a 4-yard gain. Actually, Joe Butler really stretched forward and kind of dove for that extra yardage to get the 4-yard pickup. Brings third down and 6. Ball at the 37-yard line. Out there getting close to midfield. As the play being brought in now for the West. As Stewart, along with Butler and Hogan, up to the line of scrimmage. Hogan again out here, wide out, along with Ben Forrest. Butler, your lone back. As Stewart, there goes Hogan in motion. Now Stewart drops straight back, lets it fly straight downfield. And is it, no, it was intercepted, but he was out of bounds. Chad Hilton made the nice diving interception. The pass was intended for Ben Forrest, but it was Chad Hilton who dove to make the interception, but he dove right out of bounds with it, so it is an incomplete pass. And it sets up a 4th down and 6, so the West will have to punt it away. They're on their own 37. And let's see who's going to be in there to punt it off. I believe that's Zach Westhoff. He's in there as quarterback now. But now they're going to change and send him back to punt it away off the quick kick. And there is the snap and the quick kick downfield. And it's going to roll and roll all the way into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback, and the East will have the football being brought out to the 15-yard line. That's where they will take over with another offensive series, 1st and 10. Watching the offensive unit coming on to the field, and again we see a familiar backfield that we've seen most of the day. Brent Reedy as the quarterback, Jared Furman, your running back, along with Lee Driver. And Lee Driver usually has been split out most of the time. And to get him out there to the outside for a pass play, we'll see if that's what happens this time. All right, Reedy up under center, split back set. Takes a snap, drops straight back, looks, throws out in the flat for Lee Driver, makes the grab, but not too much on the play as Mike Kendall is out there to make the stop. A 2-yard reception and pickup that time as Reedy passed out to Lee Driver out there in the flat. 2 yards on the game, brings up 2nd down and 8. Ball out the 17-yard line of the East as we roll along here in quarter number 4. In this 14th annual 8-man all-star football game. And your West in control, 44-16. Here we go. Reedy motioning where he wants his wideout set up. As Furman, your lone back, there's a swing out to Lee Driver. Lee Driver down this near sideline as he picks up extra yardage on the play, getting some extra blocks out there. 14 yards on the gain as Reedy just a straight pass out to the sideline, out to Lee Driver, and getting the 14 yards and the 1st and 10 for the East out at the 31-yard line.
31-yard line, 1st and 10.
Mike Kendall there to make sure that he was pushed out of bounds. So here we go again. One lone back. Again, Furman, and they're going to hand off to Furman that time, but he doesn't get much out of it. Matter of fact, he may only got about a foot on it. As Kendall, along with Latham, right there to
Tackle is made by
stop
number
up the middle.
48, Michael Kendall, number 64, Travis Latham.
As Reedy had handed off
to
to
2nd down and 9 for
Furman. And just not much doing there. 2nd down and 10. We'll call it 10 anyway. Almost no gain on the play. Right at the 31-yard line as Reedy looks it over. Giving some extra instructions to his backs, who are split this time. Furman and Driver back there. In motion goes Driver to the weak side of the field. Now here's Reedy. He'll roll out to the weak side of the field, looking down. Now quarterback keeper down that far sideline. He'll get some extra yardage out of it. As Reedy is able to pick up 7 yards, getting some extra blocks out there by Driver. But that looked like it was going to start out to be a pass play, and then it was a quarterback keeper all the way. Jacob Lotta in on the tackle for the West to bring down Brent Reedy. 7-yard pickup, 3rd down and 3. Ball at the 38-yard line. Right at midfield. Here's Reedy looking. Now lost it out here into the flat and just out beyond the intended receiver of Lee Driver. He was stretched out and got a finger on it, but couldn't bring it down. And out there in coverage was Clint Cox for the West. He's been involved in a lot of good defensive coverage this afternoon. He's out of Northern Valley High School, 6'1", 165-pound defensive back. He was also a quarterback for Northern Valley. But after that is 4th down and 3, and the East is going for it. They have to do it. Reedy, along with Furman and Driver, split back set this time. There's a pitch out back to Driver. Now he's going to have the halfback pass. Lost it downfield, kind of a wounded duck type situation. Knocked down, penalty flag is thrown, and could be pass interference. We'll wait and see if that's what the call is, and the official tells us, yes, it is pass interference on the West, and that's going to give the East a 1st and 10 all the way down at the West 26-yard line. I believe that's where they're going to set it up. We'll see where the officials mark it out to, but that was a halfback pass after the pitch out to Driver, and he lofted it down there. He's fortunate that was not intercepted, and that there was a pass interference called on Trent Knuckles. He's the guy that got a hand on the jersey of the intended receiver downfield. So a 1st and 10 for the East on the West 26-yard line. Again, Reedy with that split back set. Here is the handoff to Furman, trying to get to that short side and gets no yardage out of it. Matter of fact, he's pushed back. They'll give him no gain on the play. Jason Woolitz in there to submarine underneath and make sure that he took his legs out from underneath of him and couldn't get any further as the ball is placed back to the 26-yard line. 2nd down and 10. So the East having their problems, even though that they got a little help off of that pass interference play, having their problems to get any extra yardage here. The good defense by the West, as they've had control of the line of scrimmage almost all afternoon on offense, and their defensive players really making some quick reaction to the ball. Here is Reedy once again. Now Reedy drops straight back, looks downfield, lofts it out there into the flat. Pass is caught. It's the lead Driver, and Driver is going to get some positive yardage out of it, about 8 yards on the pickup. Travis Latham, along with Clint Cox, there to make sure he didn't go any further, but an 8-yard pickup will bring up a 3rd down and 2 as the ball is down at the 18-yard line.
3rd down and 2 for the East.
Oh, the East getting a little bit deeper down here into West territory as Reedy takes his offensive unit back to the line of scrimmage, showing his Furman and Driver. Driver split out to the short side of the field. Furman, your lone back out there. Kevin Cook also wide out. Now there's a handoff right up the gut to Furman, and Furman will get some extra yardage. 3 yards on it. He'll pick up the 1st and 10 down at the 15-yard line. So Furman right up the gut gets the needed 3-yard pickup and gives the 1st and 10 to the East. 6:45 left in the bowl game. As the West really in control here and has been in control much of the way since late in the first half. They own a 44-16 lead here over the East. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Reedy up under center, now drops straight back, looks, now lofts out there, but it's incomplete, too low, as Reedy was going for Phil Rock, who was the intended receiver, but Reedy was rushed, getting a big rush that time, and he threw it just a little bit low underneath and between the legs of the intended receiver, Phil Rock, brings up a 2nd down and 10 from the 15. Oh, here comes the offensive unit for the East as Reedy steps up under center, split back set again. And now this time they hand off to Driver. Driver picking and weaving his way up through the middle there. Gets some extra yardage, about 6 yards on the carry before Kendall, Lana, and Risky all bring him down together. So off of that run, picking up 6 yards, brings up a 3rd down and 4. Ball is down inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. The East 9 yards away from pay dirt. Let's see if they can make it work for them this time as Reedy brings his offensive unit up. Furman and Driver. And we take a look at Reedy, and Reedy takes a snap. Now dropping back, wants to pass, looking downfield. Now lofts it down there into the end zone, and it is going to be caught. Touchdown! Coming up with the catch for the East was Jared Furman. Furman with a big catch in the end zone. The defender back there was Jason Willis, but Furman with his good size frame come up with the catch, getting in good position, giving the East their 22nd point. The West on top here by 22, 44-22, 5:45 to go in the game, and here we go for the point after. As they'll go for 2 here, Reedy. Furman, the lone one back. He has wideouts to both sides. Reedy looking, now wants to pass, and is it going to be caught? Yes, it is. The 2-point conversion is complete as Reedy able to find Trevor Stuma right inside the goal line. So the East picks up a couple of more points. They're back within 20, 44-24, with about 5:40 to go in the bowl game here in this 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. But the West has been the one and the team most of the day that has controlled the line of scrimmage. And they hold that 20-point lead, 3-touchdown lead over the East here. Remember, I told you earlier that it's been a couple of years since the West has won here at Trojan Field. But they certainly look in great position to get the win here today. Teeing it up now is Kevin Cook. He'll kick it off for the East. And back deep as the returner and receiver is Chad Petts. So you might look for an onside kick here. As the East showing that that's a real likely possibility. And I know that the West is anticipating that. They've got their good hands people up front on the front line, receivers and quarterbacks. Here is the onside kick. It's taken and brought down there. The ball was taken by number 34. That was Chad Petts. He was right up there and was able to get control of the football and take it down right at the 39-yard line. So the West will take over 1st and 10 on their own 39. And we watch coming back in as Seth Stewart as the quarterback, Joe Butler and Scott Hogan. Well, they're getting some extra time here in this 4th quarter. As they arrive at the line of scrimmage, split back set again. And now we take a look at Stewart. Stewart takes a snap, going to hand off to Hogan. Hogan trying to get to the outside, turns the corner down that far sideline. Hogan into the open. Who's going to run him down? One last guy had a chance, couldn't get him. Touchdown for Scott Hogan. 41 yards on the romp down that far sideline. Justin Smith was the last one to get a hand on him, but just couldn't bring him down, but a big 41-yard run by Scott Hogan, and the West tacks on 6 more. 50-24. It's been that misdirection several times throughout the day as Hogan has been the running back that's been in there in motion and really picked up some big yardage down that short sideline, and that time took it for 41 yards into the end zone. Here we go with the point after as Stewart, Joe Butler, your lone back, out here to the wide side, your wide receiver. That's Hogan again, and now here is Stewart throwing across the middle, and it's incomplete. Incomplete, so they do not complete the point after touchdown, and the score remains the West 50 and the East 24 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in this 14th annual All-Star football game. As the West really in control here now and taking a 26-point advantage. We'll get set for the kickoff, and again, I'm sure we'll see John Danzel out there to kick off for the West, as we've watched him do this several times this afternoon. But, you know, we've talked so much about the offensive line of the West All-Stars, and they have done a tremendous job of blocking and making sure that their running backs had the seams and the creases to get through. But, you know, it's been some great blocking on the corners, especially a couple of times for Scott Hogan, who was able to get to the corner on the weak side of the field and get some big gainers out of it. But that was a huge gainer that time by Scott Hogan. 41 yards down the sideline, the short side of the field for the touchdown to give the West All-Stars their lead of 50-24. And it is John Danzel there. He's got it teed up, ready to boot it away. And let's see. Waiting for the indication from the referee. Now John Danzel approaches the football, puts a big foot in high end-over-end boot, and this is going to go through the end zone. No return this time at all, as Danzel really stuck that one. So the East will have it on their own 15-yard line to start this offensive series, 1st and 10. Seth Bourne back in there to be your quarterback, along with Jared Furman, your running back, and Joey Midget. So the East, with just about 5.5 minutes to go here in the ball game, has it on offense. Split back set as Bourne looks him over. So now ready to go. Bourne takes a snap. Well, a handoff to Midget this time. Midget trying to get to the outside. He'll pick up some yardage, though. Gets about 2 yards on the carry out here to the wide side of the field before Trent Knuckles and Travis Latham there to bring him down.
Travis Latham, number 2.
2 yards on the pickup, brings up a 2nd down and 8. The ball out at the 17-yard line. Back in to the lineup for the East is Trevor Stuma. He will be out here as tight end. Got the split back set again. And here's a handoff to Furman. Furman off that right side, going to pick up extra yardage. Matter of fact, a nice cutback that time by Furman before he was brought down by Jason Willis. 11 yards on the pickup for Jared Furman as he started out to the wide side and then cut it back cross grain to the weak side of the field. 11 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 for the East out at their own 28-yard line.
From the 28-yard line.
Well, now we see Brent Reedy back in there as the quarterback for the East. Reedy back in with Furman and Midget. Midget is split wide as Reedy in the shotgun formation. Now Reedy off the quarterback keeper. Off that right side, not going to get too much out of it. Matter of fact, he doesn't get anything at all. It looked like off that shotgun they were going to pass, but he had the quarterback keeper all the way. No gain on the play. Jason Willis, who has just been all over the running backs and the quarterbacks all day for the East, makes another tackle as he has to be the leading tackler for the West. He's out of Little River High School, 5'11", 170 pounds, and Manny is quick and moves to the ball extremely fast. 2nd down and 10 after no gain on the play on the 28-yard line. Back there in shotgun formation again is, well, that was Bourne back in there. Now the pass out here, and it was to Cole Smith, but Cole Smith is going to take a loss on the play. Getting out there was Tyler Woolfolk. He read that one clearly all the way, and a loss of 7 as Seth Bourne made that pass out there in the flat to Cole Smith. But Woolfolk out there to make the stop, and a 7-yard loss back at the
3rd down and 17 for the East.
Ball on the 11-yard line. 3rd down and 17. As we take a look now at the quarterback back in there for the East, that is Brent Reedy. Furman, there's a handoff and going to Driver. Driver up this near sideline as a misdirection back to the wide side of the field. And Lee Driver off that little pitch reverse gets 12 yards on the gain. It'll not be enough for a 1st and 10, but nevertheless does get out close to the 33-yard line. Brings up a 4th down and 5 for the East.
All right, I'll give you 6.
As we take a look now at Reedy, who is back deep to punt it away.
Timeout called by the East
for the
squad.
East. And a timeout on the field. As we take a look at the coach out there to talk it over with his East offensive unit. That's Coach Keith Crescent.
Only reason I know Johnny stayed at my
As the
house
time
last
running
night.
down here at the closing moments of this 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game. Now here we go back to action with the East up there. And Reedy is in there. I believe they're going to go for it. They're not going to punt it away. They're on a 4th and 5 from their own 33. They're going to go for it as Reedy up under center. Now drops straight back, looks downfield, and lost it. Long pass downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver down there was Phil Rock, but back there in coverage again for the West. And guess who? Jason Woolitz. He has been all over this field and helps break that up, but on the incomplete pass play, it'll be the West taking over on downs. They'll have a 1st and 10 on the East 33. We watch the familiar backfield again in there for the West as Cole Ballard, your quarterback, Chad Petts along with Justin Kendall in there, and your lone back again is Petts, and here is Ballard off the quarterback keeper. He gets just about 3 yards on the pickup that time before Corey Wirtz was there to put a shoulder into him and knock him down. Getting down close to the 30-yard line. So it was a pickup of 3 that time by Cole Ballard off the quarterback keeper. As this 14th annual 8-man All-Star football game is just almost in the record books. All right, here is, again, Ballard, and the pass play down here. The pass is complete to Corey Reese, and Reese is going to pick up 8 yards on the carry before Corey Wirtz brings him down. And so it will set up another 1st down for the West, way down to the 22-yard line. So Ballard stays in there as the quarterback, and Petts and Kendall your running backs. But they have a 1st and 10 down at the East 22. And again, trying to stick it in one more time here before the end of this ball game as they head up to the line of scrimmage. And we see the split back set, but Kendall up here split right close to the line of scrimmage. Here is the handoff right up the middle to Kendall. And Kendall trying to get to the outside. He's going to get about 2 yards out of it before Corey Wirtz. And the other half of the defensive front for the East bring him down. So only a gain of 2 yards that time by Justin Kendall. Going on a little reverse back to the wide side of the field. Brings up a 2nd down and 8, ball down on the 20-yard line. Oh, the West driving a little bit deeper down here in West territory. Ballard sets him up. Wide house to both sides. Now Ballard looks. Now the loss it downfield. And is it going to be a completed pass play? Yes, it is, as Ballard throws it downfield to Andrew Leeper. And a pickup on the play, enough for the 1st and 10. Matter of fact, all the way down to the 4-yard line, so 16 yards on the pass completion. Jeff McPeak made the stop, but a 1st and goal now for the West as they try to put it in one more time. So here we go. The West down there, Ballard up under center as he takes a look at the defense. Wideouts here. Now Ballard wanting to throw again. Throws over. It's intercepted right in the end zone. Stepping in front there to make the interception was Corey Wirtz as Ballard was looking right through the middle there at his intended receiver, Ben Forrest, but Corey Wirtz steps in front and intercepts and thwarts the scoring drive by the West, so the East will take over on their own 15-yard line.
I can't believe it. After that last announcement, I've already got a Rotary member.
Well, the East that time averted another march into the end zone by the West, and they take over here with Seth Bourne coming back in as your quarterback. And lead driver along with Cole Smith as your running backs. It's down to the waning moments of this 14th annual 8-man football game. Now the backs are split back there with Bourne. Bourne's going to hands off to Cole Smith. Cole Smith getting to the outside. Cole will pick up about 5 yards on the carry. Getting out there, but a penalty flag is dropped, and let's see who that's going to be on. Anyway, it's a penalty flag against the West, and it is indication by the referee, unsportsmanlike conduct on the West. That's going to cost them 15 yards besides the 5-yard pickup by Cole Smith. So the East is going to get quite a bit out of this. But an unsportsmanlike conduct here, you sure hate to see that down at the close of this ball game, because we really had some good sportsmanlike conduct throughout most of the game. Nevertheless, the East will have the football out on their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. And again, this one is just right down to the end. We're under a minute to play here now. Backs are split. Bourne, your quarterback. Driver and Smith back there as the running backs. There is a handoff to Cole Smith. But, man, what a stick by Mike Kendall as he popped through there to put a stick on Cole Smith and throw him for a 2-yard loss. And now we've got another penalty flag down, and it's going to be a personal foul against the West. So 2 back-to-back personal fouls has really cost the West here. But, man, that really takes away from that big hit that Mike Kendall put on Cole Smith. You could really feel that one way up here. After that loss of 2, they're going to get some positive yardage. That brings up a 1st and 10. Ball out down to the 34-yard line of the West. We may only have just 1 play left. We'll wait and see here. We're just down to the last few seconds. But timeout on the field as the officials get things set up here for the East on their 1st and 10 on the West 34. Bourne bringing his offensive unit up to the line of scrimmage. Again, Lee and Driver and Cole Smith split back sets back there. Here's Bourne and the handoff to Driver. Driver getting to the outside, picks up some yardage. He gets about 5 out of it, but there to make the stop, Justin Ringwald, Jason Willits, and Clint Cox. And those guys have been in on the tackles all afternoon. And I think the time may be running out here on the East. I don't think they're going to get the snap off for the final play. And they do not. That is the end of the football game. And the West, after having a 2-year hiatus of not getting a win here at Trojan Field, does get the win this year with some great offensive line play throughout the day as they really control the line of scrimmage, and some big-time offensive play by their backs as the West gets the win. The West 50 and the East 24. At this time, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the members of the Kansas 8-Man Football Association, the Beloit Rotary Club, and the Beloit Knights of Columbus for sponsoring this outstanding sporting event, giving seniors playing the 8-man game the exposure and recognition which they so very much deserve. To all the people involved in making this game a reality, I want to say congratulations on a job well done. To the outstanding players and coaches of both all-star teams, I would like to express our sincere appreciation for their considerable efforts as well.